Well,
Let a
folks,
Now you're
there you
gonna be
motherfucker
a
have it.
speak.
motherfucker.
Let a
It doesn't
motherfucker
seem
speak, Daphne.
it
Let
Come
doesn't
on.
seem
mine
like
like
you
Jesus.
can.
Mickey. Seriously, go
Jesus.
ahead, Mickey.
To my further point, the people that we're talking about, as Kalisha so eloquently stated, are not going to be sending their children to work overnight at a Walmart staffing products so that they can
That's
learn
right.
business skills. They're going to be doing it to earn money to help support their families. When these laws in Florida, which are dangerous, which basically make it easier for young children, because yes, unbeknownst to most people, 14-year-old is a child, 15 years old is a child. Okay? We're not talking about you people that have it larger than life. I don't really give a shit about you because you're not the average American, right? What I'm concerned about is they're going to make it easier for these kids to drop out of school because some people, including some wealthy people, think it's perfectly okay for them to throw their little young lives away and get stuck working a regular basic 9 to 5 job overnight and disavow and go away from school. So that is the point that I wanted to make. Although I love the little sharing about what you've taught your children, that does not matter. What you need to be concerned about is that you're going to have an entire generation of young Americans who have nothing to lose because you were supportive and them being forced to go work, right, for $8 an hour when they were 14 years old and drop out of school. Oh, Jesus Christ. Thank you. I'm
Yeah,
done.
usually the reason why people drop out of school, why kids drop out of school, they get pregnant, they get in trouble, they join gangs.
Who's
It's
they?
not
Hold
First
on.
of
because
all,
they're
Storm.
working.
So
My
hold
Storm,
on.
God,
Storm,
Mickey.
Storm. You
Storm.
I
you
don't even
say
know
they.
anybody in a
Let's
gang storm.
You want to
go.
get
Shut
triggered?
Hold on. Maggie,
Ruh-uh.
come on.
up.
You're,
Shut
Okay,
you're,
go
up.
mic on
you're,
Cindy. Go
you're
Storm.
mic on Cindy.
taking one state. Sammy worked at 15 at Bloomingdale's. She learned how to answer to somebody else. She learned that she had a boss outside of her mom or her dad. And she learned that she had to be at work at a certain time, right? And she had to do a shift, come home, right? She wasn't working full time. She wasn't working overnights. She wanted a car. She needed a job. Period. That's how I felt. With that being said, Sammy's been paying into a SEP for over 10 years. Again, that's a tax deduction, right? Right? She
Yeah.
pays into a SEP
Cindy, what's the
every
step?
year
Cindy,
for
Cindy,
10
Cindy,
years.
Cindy, Cindy. For those on the podcast, the room, anywhere else in the world that do not know, what is an SEF? SEF.
A SEP. A SEP. Maggie can explain what a SEP is, but you're tax
It's
deferring.
a
You're paying into your,
self-employment
thank
IRA.
you.
There you
So
go.
you're paying into it every year as a tax deduction, right? And on retirement age, Sammy, the money
A
she pays, I
scam.
think she
It's a
pays.
total scam.
But you know what? It gives her whatever. Listen, she's paid $60,000 for 10 years into her SEP. When she retires, she'll have whatever umpteen millions in there, and she will then pay lower taxes.
That'll be taxed at
Cindy,
70%.
the rich folk
You
don't
know
know what
what? God
IRAs
only
are.
knows, Grant. You might be right at that point, the way the world's
Roth
going.
IRAs aren't taxed at distribution, you goofy.
She's
Why
talking
don't
about
y'all
a
just
SIP.
deal with
Yes.
why don't y'all just deal with what you're really concerned with, which is
Exactly.
the children working overnight instead of bringing in that they'll have to drop out of school. They're saying these kids are homeschooled, first of all, so they're not going to drop out. They're homeschooled. You're talking about being concerned that they're working overnight and you don't like that. The other side is talking about the fact that they see benefits in children working. Why don't you just talk about work for kids and the fact that you don't think that they should be working overnight, that you're concerned that more children will be put into the labor force before they're ready, things of that nature, versus throwing in a bunch of educational things that are really irrelevant. It doesn't make the
Well, when we see
conversation.
that actually
I'm not
happening,
talking about you, Cindy.
Thank you,
I'm not
I'm
Lisa.
just
talking
saying,
about
Thank
when
you,
we
you.
Lisa.
actually see that happening, I would have a major problem with seeing a 14-year-old kid working a 9 to 7 in the morning shift.
Well, that's what
Absolutely.
they're saying. That's the
But
reason
we
Well,
why
got to
I'm
see how
saying, why
that
don't
excuse me,
we?
plays
No,
out.
wait. This
excuse
the
me,
reason.
just for a
See
second,
how
just
that
in
plays
in
out.
the essence of moderating, I think and then we'll then let's talk about the whole damn thing. But I think that we're talking about two different things here, guys, right? And so what I'm seeing is like we're having this piece about like oh, can your children be working and what does it show them and all these other things. But then on the other side of the coin, I'm seeing that there's obviously some people that are concerned that children are going to be and I use force kind of loosely here, but I get it. I really do. I get it. I understand where if you have a household, especially in this economy, listen, when I grew up, I've seen some things, and I understand that, if a household is short on rent, I understand that two teenage children may be expected to contribute a little bit into that home in some families. And listen, those are the conversations that we're not having, right? So you guys, like, we're having this big over whatever conversation, right? This big context in grown-up terms. But I'm saying, like, there's these other households that these are very intricate, detailed conversations. So I just think that we need to make sure that we're focusing on two things.
That's why I
Daphne,
said,
if I
Daphne.
may,
That's
can
why I said what
Makila
I said.
and Mickey
Yeah.
speak to each other? If I
And
may,
Makita
I'm gonna
brought that
yield.
up. Go ahead, LS.
No,
I'm
I don't
sorry. Can
have. I don't
these
have
two talk?
any. I said what I wanted to say, which
Rick,
is
I
Makila,
want
exactly
no,
you to
what
say
I
what
like
you
Nikki.
to. No,
inspired
Yeah,
I
by.
agree. Let
yeah.
two of you
I
talk because
think everybody
you
agrees with
guys are on
that one.
point.
Go ahead, LS, and then Cindy, please.
No, I think they're on point, Makila and Mickey, because I respect you both. I think you both are on point. I'm here to learn. I think you both are on point. Can you guys have a conversation? I want to learn,
I don't
please.
actually think we're disagreeing. That's the thing. I'm not
I know you're
disagreeing
not.
with the
I want
fact
to
that
understand deeper.
yeah, I'm not
This
disagreeing with the fact that children shouldn't be working overnight. I'm just sticking to the fact that we keep pulling certain things into the conversation and avoiding having the actual conversation that we want to have. Like someone mentioned strip clubs and things like that. That people have concerns. People mention immigration. People mention, like Cindy said, she wouldn't be okay with seeing a child working 9 to 7, from 9 o'clock at night to 7 in the morning. That's what we need to be talking about instead of all the other things because it's avoiding the rest of the conversation.
I'm doing.
I would
I
like to
agree.
add, my name is Rosalind.
Hey,
I
Rosalind.
think, hi, I think the word that we're missing is exploitation.
Mhm.
We have to worry about the children being exploited, whether it's financially or it's their health and their safety, whether they are working in jobs where they might be exploited sexually, or a job where they're working at a meat factory, or maybe it's a single mother, and the mother is putting too much pressure. Maybe she has a 15-year-old son and she's making him the man of the house, expecting him to bring in too much income. There are a lot of, there are parents who, everybody isn't a good parent. So the reason we have child labor laws is to protect a child. So, everybody in here sounds like a great parent, but we have child labor laws to protect children from being exploited. And
I got to give
this
her that.
law sounds like it's setting up children, especially children who are in vulnerable situations, to be exploited.
Agreed.
Agreed. Thank you, Rosalind. That was very well said.
I feel like we're finally getting somewhere. I
Well,
mean, I
she's
really
right
do.
I
because it's
agree as
not.
And
well.
If you heard what she
Rosalind, I
said,
agree as well. Thank
if you
you.
heard what she said, there aren't a lot of good parents out there, and they might exploit their kids
They will,
and make
Cindy.
them go to
They will.
work. So you know what? When you
Sadly.
look at it that way, yes, there should be laws in place. Okay.
Absolutely.
So I would agree with that 1,000%. Now,
Okay,
if your
and
mommy and
because
daddy
that's
owns a
the important
business and you're
part right
14 years old, you can go work for mommy and daddy, okay? Or an aunt and uncle, okay? If you want to go make,
but
a little extra money so you can go buy your Nike Jordans or whatever. But you're right when you say that. There are a lot of bad parents out there.
Cindy, there are parents out there tricking their kids out, unfortunately, right now. Okay, and
this law is not going to change that.
Wait, but
yeah.
pause because it's not about this law changing it. It's just about the fact that this law is trying to make it okay for kids to work overnight. And I think as a collective, we can agree that that is exploitation.
As a collective, can we agree that that's not what we're talking about right now? Like you guys are taking it to such an extreme.
Well, no,
No,
No?
Daphne,
That's
that's
I
the
the
thought that
law.
was
law.
where the conversation started
That's the
with the
law.
Yeah,
fact,
that's what the law is proposing.
What
yeah,
is
okay,
okay?
Daphne,
What is
Daphne,
like
I
in real
agree.
life.
I agree. Daphne. I agree.
Thank you.
Ellis,
No,
Ellis, how the hell are you gonna agree with
It
one?
sounds like don't agree with her. Don't
No,
do
no,
that.
no, no, no. It's not that.
no.
No, LS just listen to me. LS just said I agreed with the opposite, and then he came back and said I agree with this. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
hell? This
No,
guy's just agreeing all over the
because I'll
place.
tell you, Jonathan. I'll say it because what you're talking about, and I'm thinking about
I
other
haven't said
things.
anything.
No, I know,
Mhm.
but let me. I'm thinking in my own brain because there's a lot of abandoned kids that are immigrants, right? I was looking at this today or yesterday that are still in this country, and it reminds me of something me, but that's personal. But people who are abandoned that are kids, and that's why I brought up the hood and gangs and whatever. Because if you, I was lucky by God's plan. I was lucky. Shouldn't be living. Shouldn't be what I am. Shouldn't be anything. Oh, all right, Jonathan. I'm done.
LSJ, I think it's because you lost us a little bit.
No, no, Jonathan likes to do
Because
this. He
at
likes to have fun.
LSD,
I'm done.
what
I'm
are we
done. I'm
talking
done.
about? Not
I'm. The point is. The point is. The point is. I'm gonna connect the dots quickly. We talk about like these deportations, right, Jonathan? You'll love this. But when Trump was moving forward, because that's why I say I'm neutral on everything, there's a lot of kids that are left behind under Biden and Trump, right, for these deportations. These kids are still in this country, man. Fact.
But those kids won't be homeschooled, Ellis.
Well, they won't be
And I'm
anything. They will become
but
gay. Right, right. But
but
my
this
point is,
law won't apply to them. So I'm a
no,
little bit
but hold
confused
on.
on
Let
how
me
you're
explain. Let
okay.
me connect the dots. The point is, the streets are the streets. You survive or you die, just like the military. So my point is, you're talking about communities where families are who can't afford to make ends meet. Okay, you got a mom. I grew up with a single mother. You got a mom who just doing what she's doing, right? The best she can do.
Didn't you hear me
Absolutely.
yell about anecdotal stories? This is
Okay,
not
I'm done.
this
I'm
is not
done.
share time at the
I'm
Bro,
expense.
you
done.
on the
I'm
mustard and
done,
can't
Mickey.
catch
I'm
up. I
done.
can't.
That
Jonathan,
doesn't
What are
your
you
listen.
child
doing
just
here?
clenched his face.
But Mickey, that
The
doesn't mean they
hell?
need to be. They don't. That Mickey, I'm gonna say this
Two
to you.
If
hours
you went to the
later.
Ivy League to now you in the streets talking about you got to fight to survive and your child is about to graduate from an Ivy League college, I'm gonna need
You
for
don't
y'all to
even,
realize.
Mickey.
Wait,
You have no
Jonathan,
idea
I'm
who
I'm
I
sorry.
am.
Wait, Jonathan, can I get some intro music real quick, just for 2 seconds?
You want some intro music?
Yeah,
Absolutely. Here we go. We're gonna give you some intro music for you.
thank you.
Let's hold on. Let me go over here, and I would have should have been a little quicker than that, but I'm ready. Let's
LSJ, I
go.
can't believe you took
All
that
right,
bullshit from her.
I have an important announcement, everybody. This is Debate the News. Today is March 28th, 2025. It is not your childhood. It is not what your parents did with you. It is not what you did with your children. It is March 28th, 2025. Thank you, Jonathan. I felt that I had to announce that. There's a little confusion as to where we are today. Amen and hallelujah. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Let the people say amen.
Amen. Amen.
All right, guys.
Hallelujah.
You should play that music
Hold,
more often when she talks because I couldn't hear a word she said.
but let me
All the
address this.
said.
I'm gonna
Shut
address
up.
this, Mickey.
No, LS.
No, 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 Jonathan. Give me 1 minute. I'm done.
Hilarious.
No,
Give
we're
me
not
one
giving you
God
minute.
1 minute.
bless,
We're not
LS. You
giving you
still
one
got
We
like
minute. We're
45
not
minutes
giving
to
you.
go.
Jonathan. She called me out.
No, she did
Hold
not
on.
call you out. So anyway, woo.
Ooh, they and their feelings.
Ay, ay, ay,
Yeah,
ay, ay.
LSJ, I can't believe you took that shit from her like
See,
that.
see, Jonathan, stop it, Grant, stop it.
Seriously, bro, I cannot believe that.
No, no,
There we
no.
go.
Look, I'll see her in Compton at some point or somewhere. It don't
In
matter. I might
Compton,
meet her tonight. Let's talk about the real life. It
you
doesn't
Comfort
see
matter.
her
Busters.
in Compton.
Right. Let's talk about the real life. My point is, I'm going to say this. You're looking at a profile. That was 2016 postgraduate. I went to the Marine Corps
Oh,
right out of high school to get
yo,
out
yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah,
Navy.
yeah,
My
yeah,
God,
yeah.
if I hear the point is
Ay,
another
ay,
time, I'm going to
ay.
throw up.
Now you guys see what I'm talking about with LS. I'm like,
Oh
yo,
my gosh.
You just
yo,
Can
want
we,
that to keep it
Ellis?
real.
We'll
I'm
make a
done.
yo,
I'm done.
personal story
yo.
for
Oh
you.
my, yo.
Back in
Shut
WW2.
up.
I think what his Reader's Digest story was that he grew up tough and his kid, and he found his way out, and he became a good father, and his son is thriving. I think that's his whole point.
Perfectly summed
Thank
up,
you,
Cindy.
Cindy. Thank you, Cindy.
Yeah, that's
And having
awesome.
14-year-old kids without jobs, they usually get recruited to do crime because they can't go to jail. Those are the shooters. Those are the robbers. That's the ones you stick on the corner with the crack. That's what
Absolutely.
happens
You
in
Wake
have
it
America.
to
up,
who
Joe.
had showed
Wake
up
it up,
babies.
Joe. Wake it
14.
up, Boston. Wake it up, Boston.
But the law
That's
is
a
not
fact.
saying but the law is not saying that the current law, which is that children can get a job, it's not saying that that will go away. That's not what the law is saying. You understand? It's not saying that you guys are talking about, like when you're talking about what LS is saying, you're making it seem like this law is saying that students who are currently able to get a job won't be able to get one.
No,
That's
what are you
not what the
talking
law is
about?
saying. The guy who just said something just now, when he was
What I
talking
said
about
was
14-year-olds.
14-year-old kids are victims of the streets. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. If you can't get a job at them ages, somebody will recruit you for sure. I know plenty of people that'll recruit you.
That's
You
All
not
you
may
have
even
to
true,
want to
do,
be
your
Kalisha.
recruited
parent
by
just
them.
has
What's
to
Kalisha? What's
currently your parent just has to apply for a permit if they want you to be able to work at 14. That's not what we're talking about.
Kalisha? Jump in here, honey. I want to hear
Let
something
me
here,
be
I
clear. I'm talking about
please.
selling
absolutely
One
drugs
mic
and
on
doing
Kalisha.
crime. They don't need a permit to do
I
crime and sell
One mic
drugs.
on Kalisha.
thank you so much,
Sorry.
Daphne. I absolutely agree that is not what we're talking about. We are talking about why Trump has made America more hated. And that's because now we have stopped protecting the children. Now, there's another piece to this that, like, I just feel like we're not even, this is just one piece of what Trump did today, like, and throughout the time that he's been president. Like, we haven't even talked about the fact that literally we made a group called NATO and invited all these people into it. And then we were like, just kidding. I actually don't want to be a part of this and I want to go back on the agreements that I made. And now they had a whole party without us. Bruh, tell me they don't hate us. Like, we got uninvited to our own thing.
Now we don't have to pay the bill.
That's right.
I love that one, Joe. That was good. I can
Boom.
give you.
But
I
he
give you that.
wants to. He
I
wants
love
to
when
be.
people.
He wants to join Britain, though. I think he wants to be a king. He wants to join Britain. He was asking, how can he join it?
Yeah,
That's
man.
right. He wants to make
That was an
America a
association. It
Commonwealth
was
of
a
England
membership.
again. That's a thing that was in the news, which is wild. I don't even know what to say to that. I thought it was fake. Apparently, it's not. I don't know what I don't know what to do with that.
The
I
British
guess
It's
we're going to
soft
economy
throw
is
tea in
signaling
a harbor again.
desiring
I have
a
no idea.
monarchy. It's soft signaling at desiring a monarchy. So there, it's a gentle way to reintroduce an authoritarian government. It's
Skull, is
very
this real?
gentle, very mindful.
That makes a little more sense.
This is
Skulls are
real,
so
Skull?
pleased.
This is real?
Yeah, I'll find the article. I'll find the article. There was a consideration of us joining the Commonwealth under Trump's first term. I don't even know what that means, right? Like, like Canada's a Commonwealth nation. It's like, how would we go back from being? It doesn't even make any sense. I'll find the article.
You
He
know,
wants to undo the Revolutionary War? What?
it's actually further
Exactly.
that they want to undo the Enlightenment period, which is, when we decided that we were going to have democracy again because they think it's a failed project from ancient ancient Greece.
Yes, opinion articles are real. Go ahead.
Okay, my jaw
So
is just literally hanging open.
We'll close
I,
it.
I've
Go ahead, Skull.
Yeah,
I've
I'm
linked
right.
one article that I saw on it. Here's the Times. How does the Commonwealth work, and does the U.S. really want to join it? Uh, there's a bunch of these articles out here. I don't even know what to say to this. I don't even know. I mean, I saw this like earlier this week, and I didn't put in any of my date lines because it was so bizarre. I was just like, I'm just going to leave that one alone. We can talk about that one later. But now we'll talk about it now, I guess.
Hey, Skull, did you see that camera that when we landed on the moon, it was already there when we landed? Amazing.
Way back then, like that shit is so advanced. I was impressed.
It was in real time, too. There was no delay. It was
So do
incredible.
you not believe in the moon landing now?
No, they don't.
And there was like, if you think about how our Wi-Fi connection here on Chatter sometimes in V1 is sketchy, but it wasn't back in 1950 on the moon. Like, I'm
I
so
know.
fucking
Exactly.
impressed.
Thank you,
And
Daphne.
Watch all
10x
these
that
And was able to
money.
make phone
manifest.
calls.
Who told you that? Hashtag who told you that? That's all.
Kalisha's
Khalid,
face is priceless. Somebody take a screenshot.
Yeah,
This is
I
I
great.
know.
know.
I was just admiring
Khaleesi!
it. She's
I
pretty too, but that was a
love her.
funny face.
I don't think we need to worry about the Commonwealth because, true to maggots, Trump probably heard Commonwealth and thought it was the Sovereign Wealth Fund.
I'm
So I think we're good there. You know,
Come
he
on,
hears
Mickey. We're in the
Commonwealth.
Enlightenment period right now, according to
Yeah,
Kalisha.
the
Let's go. Let's
enlightenment
enlighten.
of Emperor with no
I,
clothes.
guys,
Absolutely.
I think one of the things we haven't discussed yet is that he did an executive order getting rid of some unions, and that that's something that I don't think none of us have discussed. As a matter of fact, we haven't discussed that yet. I mean, what are your thoughts on that,
Wait a
Storm?
minute,
What
Jonathan, can you
unions?
please explain it?
Trump
Please.
passed an order to ban labor unions.
What
Sure did.
unions? What unions?
It was very vague. Labor union.
Federal
I'm
union.
totally
Yeah.
for banning the police union, though. I think it's a fantastic idea. We would make so much progress. If there is one union that I would say has got to go, it would be them. God bless.
Amen, sister.
Yes, Khalees.
He wants to end collective bargaining at agencies. And guys, this is crazy. But he didn't do it. The Border Patrol. He protected the Border Patrol union because they endorsed him. That's
Right?
crazy.
This is the pay to play presidency. Like everything is for sale. We're selling you to come over here, just give us some money. We're selling protection for government workers. We're selling protection for children, right? Next, they're going to be selling those condoms they said they were sending to a third world nation. Like it's just insane. Name the price, and you can get it what you want it from Trump anytime, just like Stormy.
Oh,
You don't even
Mickey,
have
you
to be
want to
that
talk
cute.
about selling things? Let's talk about the pardons that went out this week.
Let's talk about it.
First, he pardoned the CEO of Nikola. If you don't know this, Nikola was a electric car company that created fraud because they weren't able to make an electric truck. So what they did, and I'm not joking right now, folks. I want you to know I'm serious. They rolled a car down a hill and filmed it and said that it was running. And they raised millions of dollars, got up to a multi-billion-dollar valuation. Like, you think the Theranos girl was bad? This guy was rolling Hot Wheels down a hill and telling people he was making electric trucks. And this
I
was
remember
years ago.
that
He
stuff.
just got pardoned. And then the BitMEX founders that stole billions of dollars in crypto just got pardoned earlier today. So I'm
Okay,
kind of wondering how these pardons are happening. I've got a question about how that's happening, but we'll go.
I can top that one. Remember, these are the same people like Trump. He just had Andrew Tate and his brother, who are international sex traffickers, right? Come visit the Oval Office. And
Allegedly.
what do you mean there's pictures, bro? Like this isn't an allegedly. They were
They're
very.
not convicted.
Oh, you're saying, oh, have you they
Do
I
not engage. Keep going.
oh, God bless. Oh, divine. Okay, wait, I said two. It was that one. And what's the other thing that Trump did? Oh, right. He pardoned two metropolitan police officers who basically they were chasing this dude on a moped, and the dude ended up getting hit by a car, and they basically told the person who hit him to like go, and they covered the whole thing up, and they were convicted of obstruction of justice and like covering up a murder, and he pardoned them, and because they were no longer convicted, they were actually reinstated as metropolitan police officers. So this is, I feel like that doesn't endear anyone to this country. We look bonkers and unsafe. I know people in Palm Springs who are selling their houses, especially the Canadians. Very sad.
Speaking of Canadians, right now, travel to the U.S., future travel to the U.S. From Canada is down 70%.
What?
70%. I think it hit an all-time high in February. It was down 75%, something like that. So right now, a lot of hotels, the industry, a lot of travel industry that counted on the Canadian people, tourists, they're not getting them right now. The Canadians aren't coming here. In fact, a lot of Europeans aren't coming here anymore.
And why would we? Because I mean, soon enough, we're just going to own them, right, Jonathan?
Yeah,
Maybe?
yeah. Daphne, that is very disrespectful. Even Donald Trump stopped saying that. Respectfully, that is very disrespectful. And I already told you
Is it
it's not
really
a
that
joke.
bad?
No, 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 no. It's not a joke. And I already
It's
told
not
you in here.
funny.
It is not
Why?
funny.
Why is
No,
it not?
because it
Okay,
is
I listen.
disrespectful to want
I
to.
will.
Let me finish.
I'm
Let me
half
I
finish.
Canadian
okay.
and I
I
think it's
will, but
No,
hold
hilarious.
let
on.
me finish. You
I
just
want to hear you, Yvonne. But if it's not funny, I'll
disrespect
respect it. But
Canada.
tell me
Do not do
why.
it in this. I don't want to hear it in this room, or else I'm going to walk out because you all know
I'll leave.
if a country wanted to annex the United States, if Russia came down and trying to annex the United States, you guys wouldn't feel. But you must empathize with other people. Trying to squeeze a country economically to take them over to displace people is not a good thing. And you guys need to move with more empathy. We have been friends for years. And even Donald Trump today, he did not even disrespect Mark Carney. And that is why I don't even call him Donald Trump anymore. I say Mr. Trump or President Trump. I'm going to give him the respect he needs. And since he has changed his tune, at least today, but it is very disrespectful for people to be talking about number 51 and all that. Not because Donald Trump does it, you guys have to do it. Does it mean that if he has sinned and go to hell, you want to go to hell with this man? You know, it is really disrespectful. And I wanted to come off my mic and say that. And I said it
I
in
just
these
want
rooms already. I don't want to hear it.
No,
I just want all my brothers and sisters that can't cross the border to be able to go to Canada and experience it.
Yeah, and your country has taken advantage of this country, the United States of America,
Because
for
you
too long.
the thing is that the problem with you is that you don't come in
We
here
we
any
have been
night with
we have been
facts.
bailing your asses out for
You
years.
never have facts because you think that because you have wealth is not fact. You don't have any facts. You come in here every night and regurgitate the same thing, and you cannot come with any with any facts, Grant. And as I said before, I don't want to have a conversation with you because you have no decorum and you're always
But you
disrespectful
are
to
having a
people.
conversation with me
No,
right
because you
now.
came off your
You don't
mic
want
and
to,
you
but you
spoke.
are.
You
You
came
lost
off your
control
mic
of
and you
yourself.
spoke when
and
I
he's in the
spoke, and I'm
shower.
done.
Listen,
Hit,
Yvonne,
hit that
why?
crab
No,
hit that
no,
crybaby
this
button. Hit that
man comes
crybaby
in
button
here
right now.
all the
Good,
time,
good.
every night,
Yvonne,
and think
Yvonne.
he should disrespect people, and I can leave the room.
That's
And
it.
yeah,
That's it. That's it.
Yvonne,
I,
Yvonne,
Is that a
I
baby
Yvonne,
actually
what?
barking
I agree.
overnight?
I
Is
agree
that
with
a baby
Yvonne.
barking in the middle of the night?
I agree with
Yvonne, why
Yvonne.
are you
I
so
agree
triggered?
with.
I want, listen, here's the thing. As an American, I'm being so sincere. I want to know, Yvonne, I love you. Why are you so triggered by the fact that we're going to unite? Aren't we all in here being like, oh, unite, kumbaya, all this bullshit? And then it's like, you don't want to be with the United States. Why are you such an adversary? What's the
Daphne,
problem?
what is wrong
Wait,
with you? Why
has
can't you listen?
Daphne,
ever been
Daphne,
about uniting?
that
Like, can
wasn't
we
a
pause
common
on that
sense. That
genuinely?
that
When has Western imperialism ever been about uniting? It has always been about the exploitation of wherever they are imperializing.
does Daphne know the meaning
Bro,
of
bro, you hate
unite?
this country. You should leave
I
this
think
country and go to
Daphne was
Canada.
I
joking. Okay,
I'm
country,
listening.
I
lay
am as
it back. Pull it
exploited
back, lady. Pull
country,
it
I
but
don't
back.
think Daphne was
I
joking.
will
I think
never
Think
Daphne
she
made the
was.
best point I've
hear
heard in the
you
last
suck
30
shit
minutes.
up. I'm going to complain. You got free labor for too long. It's time for me to Karen.
You
Let's
don't
hear
love
it.
our country. That's your problem.
I actually love our
Because
country more.
you've not figured out
I actually
how
want
to
what's best for
optimize
our
the potential
country.
of the
I want
country.
what's best for all people in our country, not just those who are lucky enough to be born with privilege.
Thank you. Mic drop.
How about the people that
Bruh.
work for?
And
Wait, hold on,
also,
hold on. Stop that right now. How about for the people that have worked for their privilege? What do you
Absolutely.
think? What do
Privilege
you
is
think?
What's
Everybody
wrong
privilege.
that's got
for
money
your
was born
privilege?
into it.
Why?
What
Why
did
does
we
it
all
have to
walk
be
off the
about money?
Mayflower here? Did we all
It's
walk
not
off the
working for
Why
Mayflower?
does
it's
there
not
have
working
to
for
be? Why
privilege.
does it have to
Privilege
be
is
either
Well,
or?
well, Michael
Why?
John. Well, Michael Jonathan Howard. Go ahead, Jonathan. What were you saying?
privilege is privilege. Working for it is working for it. They're two very different things.
Excuse
Exactly.
me?
Very different.
Okay. Most people I know with money have
Go
worked
get
for
it.
it.
Go work for it, Felicia.
Okay?
Rather than hating on it, go work for it.
Wait. Don't get it twisted.
Go
I
work for it,
have
baby.
money and I didn't work for it. I inherited it. But I still recognize the privilege in that because that has enabled me to do a job that frankly doesn't pay as well as if I went the corporate route. But that's the thing. I'm aware of my privilege. And instead of talking down on people or telling them that they should just work harder, I recognize that circumstances beyond their control probably
Nobody here
determine where
even brought
they
up the
are.
2 words work harder. I haven't heard work harder in 3 hours.
Bruh.
Not one person, bruh. Not
Cindy
one
just
person has
said,
said work
Cindy
harder.
just said, if I work for my privilege.
That's
Cindy
not
just
work
said that.
harder. Those two
That
words
is
have
not
not
what
been,
I said.
work
Yes, you did,
harder have not
Cindy.
been put
No, I'll
together in
say
this
it
room.
again.
Say it again, Cindy. You're going to
Okay.
change it now.
No, I'm
Let's
not going to
go.
say it again. I said not everybody walked off the Mayflower. Did you hear those words? The
Yeah, that was
Mayflower.
after you said
Okay.
working for your
And
privilege.
everybody that I know are self made. Okay. They
Wait,
worked hard and they became something and they made something of their lives.
Work
Now, what do you
hard. There
want
it
to do?
is.
You want to shit on those people? Go
wait,
right
She
what
just
does
ahead.
said work hard, by the way.
power
It
have
is working hard, dude.
I
what
Fucking
know
does
it
try it.
power
is.
have
Why don't
That's
you go out there 18 hours a day and break
Cindy.
your
I didn't
fucking
say you
balls?
weren't working hard. I
Go ahead.
said you
Go
said
break your
working
balls
hard.
18 hours a day. Get off
This
social
is
media
like
crash
and
the
out,
tell me how it
Twilight
sister,
fucking
feels.
crash.
zone.
Just crash.
Jonathan,
Why do
I'm gonna say,
y'all why do
hold on,
y'all
hold on,
like
hold
to
on, hold on, hold on.
insinuate
I'm gonna
though?
say one thing. You can't get
Oh shit!
anywhere
Oh my
without
Here we
working.
go
God.
No,
again.
Not
listen.
today, Satan. We are
I
not the LA
understand you.
Oh,
Oh
who
my
called me
gosh.
Satan? Who called me Satan?
We are not the
Oh
LA
shit!
airport.
Here we go again.
Much.
My
I did not
God, you
convince
guys.
you to take that to
Y'all fooling tonight.
This is cray
this
cray.
is out of pocket. Oh my God.
Out of control, Jonathan.
Fooling, not us. Fooling. Get the. Go ahead.
Hey,
Just
Yeah.
gonna
Hey
keep my
guys,
let
sister's
me
quiet ass
Who
welcome
would
to
have
quiet.
finish
said
debate.
my
real
opinion
words?
One
because I'm
second,
trying not
guys.
to
One
reflect.
second. Welcome to debate the privilege, guys. Once again, if you guys are, if you guys are, if you guys are listening at home, make sure you guys download the Chatter Social app and come in and join us, man. Like I said, man, it's a big collective here, very diverse, and guess what? We discuss what shouldn't be discussed at work. What will get you fired at work or get you
That should
kicked
be
out
our
of the church.
tagline, something.
So
We
that's what we would do.
discuss what you shouldn't discuss. Like, just period. Like,
I
So
want to talk
there
about my
you
privilege.
go.
Wait, we
There
do
you
another
go.
one? I got one this time. Okay, so I think also America is more hated because now we have places like Texas that literally block people's access to porn. Like,
What?
yeah, you don't know about that?
That's fucked up. I'm not going there. No.
Literally, like you cannot access
No.
Hey,
porn.
not too much on Texas.
I mean, okay, I mean nothing. Sure, nothing on Texas, but like, I mean, bruh, like
Yeah, you're right. Where's
you're
that bra
taking away
thing
the
at?
liberty.
Where's that
Where's
bra?
that
What?
Yeah.
freedom?
Bruh.
Damn. I'm not going back to Texas then.
bruh.
Forget that.
We got to take the X out of Texas. God damn it!
Texas is
Yeah, bruh.
3 X's in Texas.
That should be like the password.
Oh,
How did we go left, Jonathan, on
And,
porn?
and- and
Uh,
let me correct the room, Jonathan. LS does not mean Satan.
Oh my god.
She
Oh
wasn't even
shit!
talking
Here
about
we go
you.
again.
No,
Lord
you was
Satan.
she. And stop, Carlos.
Oh, she just
So
said not today, Satan. That doesn't mean not today, LS, silly goose.
You know what this makes me think of?
no,
yeah,
Jasmine
yeah.
Crockett, like child, and they were like, "Stop calling me a child."
Oh, let's talk about Jasmine Crockett and her Governor Hot Wheels comments. Let's go.
Oh,
Exactly.
I thought
Governor
it's
That's
Hot
it
cool.
Wheels
I
right
thought
all
it's
there.
cool as
day,
hell.
every day. Let's talk
I
about Governor Hot Wheels. Let's talk about the only person in a wheelchair who is advocating to take away the wheelchair ramp. What the fuck? How
yeah,
are you going to get upstairs?
A
Talking about Hot
miracle from
Wheels.
God. Hello.
Make
you,
it make sense. Can anyone
Yo.
make it make sense?
you cannot get any more pull up the ladder than a person in a wheelchair taking away wheelchair access. I
Is
mean,
that real? Is that
you just
real?
can't even make that up, bro.
Is that
And we
real?
Oh.
call
No, is
him
that real?
Governor Hot Wheels in
Y'all,
Texas.
he advocates to remove the Americans with Disabilities Act. Yes, that's real. That means
That
no.
motherfucker fucked
Let
up.
me make it more simple. You won't even be able to get
Yo.
up on the sidewalk
Eh,
because there aren't sidewalk ramps, y'all. Okay, so get ready to roll your wheelchair down the road. Then we gonna really see who Hot Wheels is.
Because it's hot as hell in Texas. You're
No,
right.
is this
It'd be
real? Is this
melting
real?
tight. No, it's
yes,
real.
it's real. It's real,
It's real.
LS.
And we've been
Real as
calling
that
him
landing on the moon,
Governor
LS.
Hot
This
Wheels.
motherfucker is taking away his own privilege.
Yes, we've been calling him Governor Hot
What
Wheels for
the fuck?
years. We called Rick Perry Governor Good Hair. We always give our governors names. So the faux outrage is ridiculous.
You know what this reminds me of? The Snow White movie dropped this weekend.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And I'm just going to say this. Peter Dinklage came out and he said, I don't think workers with dwarfism should be exploited. So then Disney proceeded to fire all 7 dwarfs that they had hired, and then they did computer generated dwarfs instead, and they were like, this is a win for diversity. It's like you call 7 people their jobs, Peter Dinklage. Pulling up the ladder. That's what that is. Like,
But he does pull up the ladder. That's always been his MO. This is someone who had a tree fall on them when they were 26. And because of that, he was able to sue the person whose yard the tree was in. And he recovered millions of dollars. And then what he did was help roll back the law that made it so that other people could access that. He is
That's
a
true.
court reformist piece of shit. I have all the tea on him. I think we should roll him down a hill. God bless.
I'm a Texan and I agree with that. Absolutely. Him and crackhead Cancun.
You're a goddamn
too.
genius.
This is why you guys.
Go ahead, Grant, because you guys give everybody a name.
Man,
Crooked
this is
Hillary. You guys have
this is
Pocahontas. You guys
I'm
have
not talking about
Sleepy Joe
names. I'm not talking about
Biden.
names.
Pause on Crooked
No.
Hillary, Jonathan. Can we pause on
I,
Crooked Hillary?
she
Because
she just said she wants to
talk
roll him
about
down the hill and hurt him.
the
So let me just
ES.
say this. This is why most of this
Talk about
room,
it. Can
unfortunately, it saddens me. Most of this room will never have anything, and neither will your communities. You
what?
guys hate. You guys
What
hate on the
community you talking
old.
Our
about?
community?
You
Why do
guys
you always
hate.
try to lecture us, Grant?
let
We
him
don't
He
listen
said
to
talk.
I'm
you.
gonna
Let him
be
talk.
poor because
We
I'm
don't listen to
black.
you, Grant.
Missile ready for launch. Repeat. Predator missile ready for launch.
You guys hate
Let him
on
finish
the
talking about
very
our
things you
community. Go
guys
ahead.
need.
Yeah.
Did
So
you take
welcome to
that as
Debate
your
the News,
community?
guys. Welcome to Debate the News. Hey guys,
Why
make
you
sure.
interrupted me, Jonathan?
Wait,
Oh, I didn't interrupt
yeah,
you. Oh,
Jonathan, don't
you're
interrupt.
talking. You're talking.
Let the content, goddammit. Go ahead, Grant.
Look, if the
Let your
shoe
friend
fits,
protect you. This is a sign.
it, I
Stop.
don't need protection.
Okay. They
If
tried
the
to
shoe,
help you. They tried.
if the
That's
shoe
the black man,
fits,
Jonathan. I see you watching out.
Oh shit. Here we go
if the
again.
shoe
I mean,
fits,
he's talking
stick
about
it in your
community.
ass.
Has he gone back to Lower Louisiana and brought those people up? What have you done in
So
Louisiana?
it is not my job to go pick those people up. It is their
But
job to
that's your
come
community,
fucking
right?
follow
You're
me.
talking about communities. What
That's
have you
right.
done for your community?
I'm a good example for that community. It's up to them to fucking follow. It
That
ain't
better
my
sow
job. It
this.
ain't my
So you don't
job to
go back
fill
and
you
sow
up, bro.
seeds. You don't go back and sow seeds.
Yeah,
But you
I'm sowing
lecturing
seed.
us.
I'm sowing seeds tonight. You won't even take them.
That could be perceived very sexually. I'm just going to let you know the way you said that. He said,
That's
I
the way you think. That's the
don't
way you
want to
think.
them. Ooh, that
Nope.
was tight.
Nobody else even thought that.
That,
Another one.
that.
So what are you talking about with our communities won't have anything?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
Aren't
want to
let
you
lecture
the
him
everybody
one?
else, but he don't want to set an example.
Yeah, but aren't
That's
you the
what
No,
his
I
one that
know.
problem
grew
No,
up
is.
let him
poor?
cook.
So you
Let
assume that a lot of people that
you
are speaking to
guys.
you actually
You
grew up
guys.
poor?
If you're
Didn't you
talking,
grow up poor?
I
So
did.
so first
Yeah.
of all, you're the first one in your family to make $5 and you dare to think that you can lecture
God
us?
damn.
The fuck out of here.
He
Let's
think
see
he
if that
better than
runs last
everybody.
three
Yeah,
generations.
respectfully,
So,
I'm generationally
so,
wealthy. So I think that
Exactly. You don't even know who you're talking to.
you're new
Talisha,
so,
money, boo boo.
Talisha was born
make
a
sure you
trust
guys
fund
down. Make sure
baby.
you guys download some episodes. The links up
No,
top.
Jonathan, don't save him from this assholes. If he
The
wanted
link
to
is
go
up.
there,
No, the link is up top, guys. We're gonna make sure we
he
download
don't know
some.
he dealing
They
with
ain't
some
no.
bougie
They ain't no.
ass Negroes up in here. We are
Ain't
bougie
no.
ass
Ain't
Negroes
no.
in America, Grant. Bring it
Ain't
on,
no.
boo boo.
Ain't no ass whooping for you to give me. Cause I'm just gonna leave the room and let y'all be in your
Yeah,
bullshit.
that's fine.
No,
He
hold on,
trying to
hold
run
on,
for
hold on, hold
governor.
on,
Why you
hold on,
trying to
You
hold
leave
on,
were
us
hold on.
born
alone?
Be in y'all
bougie, boo
dumb
boo.
One
You
bullshit.
had to
second.
Grant is
aspire to be
feeling
bougie.
oppressed as a
Hold
white
on,
man.
hold on.
He feels
Yo,
oppressed.
yeah,
He feels oppressed.
LS, mute out, mute out, mute out. Don't do that, LS. This is not
Let's
your
get out the
space.
kitchen,
Yeah,
Alice.
yeah, LS. This is never ever. You never have the authorization to do that. You never have the authorization to do that. Hey guys, welcome to Debate the News, man. On this Friday, the 28th of March, 2025, man. Man, this is exciting. This is exciting. We got Khaleesi up here bringing the heat. We got Skull up here. Daphne. We got GC down there doing the do. We got Miki. We got guys. First and foremost, man, we're enjoying ourselves, right? And that's what we're gonna continue to do, man, because we've been having some really great high level good conversation. And sometimes we got down in the weeds. Okay, that's what we do. We get down in the weeds just to bring it back up.
Anybody enjoying themselves right now has gotten used to stupidity for too long.
So
Well, damn it,
I
Grant, we
come
listening to
on,
you.
for
Just saying
sure.
something, ain't it?
They're leading the way.
Shit, Grant.
Guys, anyway, with that being said, make sure you guys download that Chatter Social app, man. Make sure you guys download like the Chatter
Look
Social
at the
app.
scoreboard, bitches. Look at the scoreboard. The scoreboard never lies.
You calling
Look
them
at that
bitches
fucking
again?
scoreboard. Look at that
Coon ass.
scoreboard.
Coon
Boom.
hating
When
ass
it
out
says
there.
fucking 78-2, you're losing.
Wait, how can you
You're
ever
doing something wrong.
when you look like this? I'm sorry, Greg.
Oh
Oh,
yeah. I
scoreboard.
seen
Look
many
at the
faces that are
scoreboard.
pretty that are losers.
Yes, but they aren't me. So
So,
your
No,
madness
so it's
mad.
Well, I
you and
didn't
Grant.
one second. Before you guys dig into it,
Go
one
let
second. One
Florida
second.
Florida.
Hold on. Before you guys dig into Grant, I gotta ask Grant a question. Grant. So anyway, that
just
was your.
remember
That's your last. That
how
hold on.
good how good am I to you that I come here and let them play
Yeah, hold up. Yeah,
fucking
hold on. I got a question. That was your last GrowCon, right? Just want to make sure that was the last. How
I mean,
is he breaking up?
Not
He
all
got
that money and you still
Hold
can't
up.
buy Wi-Fi.
he got that John Legere Wi-Fi.
Oh,
Yes, that was his last growth con.
that was that the last GrowCon?
That was it.
I didn't hear.
I think it's the ancestors. They're taking over.
Hey, Grant, can you hear us?
I can hear
That's
you
that
now.
10x
Okay,
Wi-Fi.
okay. I said so. That GrowCon was your last one, correct?
I told you that a couple nights ago.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so no, I'm asking that because it seemed to be pretty fucking awesome. I mean, all the videos and all the people that you had there, that crowd size. In terms of the crowd size, I mean, can you speak to that, bro? Because I'm watching the videos. I'm watching all that, guys. We're gonna take 5 minutes. I want to take 5 minutes to actually because this is something important. So,
There was 70. There was 77. We sold 8,100 tickets for
but what about
7,500
what?
people.
Yeah, but what about online? What about online? How many people you had online?
There was 150,000
124,000.
on.
It
Yeah,
was
that
124,000.
wow, wow, that's a
Wait,
reach.
y'all are complaining about how
It's
Biden
already.
screwed up. Biden screwed up the economy, and you sold how many tickets for $7,500? What? Okay,
I
yeah,
sold some of them for 30 grand.
yeah, but I thought that.
And I offered you guys to come for free, but none of your broke asses could even fucking afford a plane.
He did come in
Yeah,
here and give
and
it. He did come
you
in.
guys,
He did come in and give it all to
bro,
us free. He did. He did.
I
He
did
offered it.
offered it free.
Why
Uh,
would you think we would want to go though?
people,
He offered what free?
GrowCon.
Man, nobody when they right mind want to go to that nonsense. What is he
Well,
doing
you
there?
could have.
Wait,
You could have did it
wait,
online,
wait a
or you could
second.
have did it
Wait a
online
second. If
or
you're gonna
free.
open the conversation and say
Yeah.
something so ridiculous, let's fucking talk about it. Was that
No,
Carlos,
no, no.
sir?
Yeah.
Sir?
So
I'm
anyway,
having fun. Sir, Carlos?
I mean, what y'all do? Y'all
I
go to a
guess I
pump up
gotta
meeting?
offer you
That's
guys
a pump
fucking
up
food
meeting, ain't
stamps or something.
I
it?
mean, was
Absolutely. I
Barack
grew up
Whoa,
on
whoa,
food
Obama
whoa,
stamps.
there or
man.
something?
Hey,
Was
wait.
Barack there?
Whoa,
What?
whoa, whoa. Grant, what'd you say?
Maybe if I'd offered you, y'all would have come.
You would have
so
offered what?
it's you can't Louis. It's
Dude, you're
Wi-Fi.
breaking up.
Yeah, he's breaking up.
Don't worry about
Yeah, it's
Bunga.
Wi-Fi.
Gumba
Listen, you
gaga.
guys, it was a hell of a
Bunga.
good time. It was a phenomenal time. We all learned so much. We had a great time
Well, you should
together.
have had a good time. You had to pay $7,500 to make some new friends. Like, hello,
Wake it up.
Mickey,
That's
you
not
should
Wake
have
it
had
true.
a
up.
good
That's not
that's
time.
true.
not gonna
Absolutely, I
Daphne
would
happen.
have
didn't
That's
have
been.
to
not
pay that.
anymore. And
But
that's what I
Mickey,
want. And
Mickey,
that's
you
what I
could have
want to
gone
make sure.
online for free. You could have gone online for free.
Bro,
I'm
she
online for free
could have gone
now.
to the event. She could have gone to the event for free. What are you talking about?
I know
I know
plenty of
that,
I
wealthy
Grant.
offered
people
all
in
you
I
Lake
know
guys
Charles.
that. I already know that.
Why
free
would Grant
seats.
assume? Why would Grant assume that we would want to actually inconvenience ourselves to go hang out with him and people like him? Are you serious? You taking your
Mickey,
little
Mickey,
popularity on
Mickey,
debate the
Mickey.
news too far, boo boo.
Mickey,
I'm
I want
good.
to. I want to respond to that. I want to respond to that. I
This
know
was
Well,
you're.
go ahead
the
and
you
respond.
know how
I,
this
I feel like you're just throwing it out into the air, but you say, "Why would we want to?" But you listen. I was one of those people that are
Well,
out
Daphne, if
there.
We
you
could
didn't go
tell.
before,
I mean, I could pop a movie in and
Okay.
see Ryan Reynolds.
I mean, Grant, haven't you done these things before? I don't know why you would want all these freeloaders around you. That's a little liberal of you, my Negro. If they didn't come around you before and they're only hyping you up because you gave them the shit free, I wouldn't want their ass around me. Pay
Well,
because
she doesn't
or
like
because
stay
free
what
away.
I
stuff.
did was the way this was brought up was somebody said, "What have you done to sow seeds?" I think was sowing seeds,
Into Mississippi.
Yeah,
You
I
should
mean,
have
and I
offered
Louisiana.
the
offered it
people
to
from
all
Lake
y'all.
Charles to
I
come. They
offered it to
probably would
all
have
y'all.
appreciated it
And
better.
I appreciate it.
No
Well,
more
Lake
Well,
Charles could have
freeloaders.
come.
well, you could have had it in Lake Charles and helped that community, right?
You sure could have, Grant,
Why would he have in Lake
I
Charles?
could do a lot of things.
because
The
I
he's
could do
shit
a
from
can
lot
Lake
of
get
things.
keep
Charles.
going, Grant. The shit can get deeper.
I don't think there's enough
I'm
hotel
doing.
rooms in Lake
Get
Charles
as deep
to do
as you
that.
can, bro.
All
Look,
right, okay. All right,
One
I'm
okay.
time,
doing.
one time. It's loud.
I'm doing.
He could have did it
I'm
in in
doing.
Canada's
I'm
ass,
doing.
You're doing
Jonathan.
what, Grant?
Better
Listen,
save
one
him.
my God, Grant. One my God, Grant. You're doing what, Grant? Please tell us.
I'm doing.
No.
Please, Sean.
Oh,
What are you
I
doing?
can't finish.
Go ahead, Grant. Go ahead.
I'm doing a free gala tomorrow night to raise money for the firemen in Los Angeles County. I don't live in LA, but I'm there doing that
Shit, why
Oh,
don't you
raise
Grant,
just
let
give
money
me
the
for
money
talk.
to
free.
him?
Grant,
Hey,
let me
where
talk.
at, Grant?
Grant,
Grant,
And
I'll be there.
Sunday,
wait,
Sunday,
let me
Sunday,
talk.
Hold on, guys.
Sunday,
Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. We'll drop it in the
Sunday,
links. We'll drop it in the chat.
Sunday, Sunday. I'll be in LA doing 3 different rallies, talking to people about how they can improve their economy, their personal finance.
You're
Grant,
breaking up a little bit, sir.
He said
teach people.
personal finance, so
You
he
need to
went in
teach
the
people.
matrix.
Yeah, you need to teach people how to get better
Open this up.
Wi-Fi.
We've opened this up, Compton. Yeah, I just checked into a hotel in LA, so I can't
Oh,
help
okay,
it.
that's what it is. Okay, gotcha. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, honestly, Grant, tonight we're losing you a little
It's
bit.
a decent hotel.
But we certainly appreciate that. Listen, and you guys, the reason I tease is because Grant comes in and we go back and forth, and debate the news or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, I think that's really important that we all support each other very much, and I appreciate all the efforts that are being doing to just help everyone in the communities.
All right, guys. So here's the thing, guys. I want to Trump today. A judge stopped him from deporting foreign
We
national.
done talking about me, Jonathan? We had enough.
Yeah, Grant. Grant. Mute your mic, man. What the hell, bro? It's like, I'm like, come on, Grant, let's go. Like, nah. Let's go. No, Grant. I watched it online.
No,
And
it's
I
all good. It's all good.
no,
I was just playing, dude.
I know, but no. But what I brought it up because I thought it was great. It was great. It was great production. And it was a great stage. It was a phenomenal stage actually. That stage was phenomenal. I ain't gonna ask you how much that stage cost because that had to cost a pretty penny. Said that stage was a phenomenal stage. That's a nice
Yeah,
stage.
let's not forget. Let's not forget that every night that I did a party with my friends, I brought
You brought
debate the
us in.
news to the
You
party.
brought exactly.
That's
I
right.
brought the party to debate the news.
Yep, Rick
Thank you for
Ross,
that. We appreciate you.
Wyclef John, all of them.
Fat
Absolutely.
Joe.
No, but
Yeah,
like
Fat
seriously,
Joe.
like Grant's
Yeah,
doing this whole
yeah.
thing in Vegas, and like
Who else
literally
has
he's
done that
showing
for
up for
debate the news?
us in DTN. Like that was really cool.
Yeah. Some of you can't appreciate it, but that doesn't hurt my
No,
feelings.
definitely.
I offered to people that wanted to,
It definitely hurt your
not the
Wi-Fi
people
though.
that didn't, the people
Look
that
at
I
didn't
was
God.
want to
gonna
come.
say the
Look
same
at God.
thing.
Yeah, that's some John Legere Wi-Fi.
Definitely hurt. So
Yeah, I got what I needed from John.
Oh shit.
so anyway, guys. 1 second. So anyway, guys. Once again, a judge has stopped Donald Trump from deporting people back to countries from which they did not come from. Okay. So right now, you're not able to deport, I guess, a national of another country to a different country. And so that's something that I think should have went without saying. That was just it's crazy. So someone from another country could say, hey, I don't want to go back to that country. I can't go back to that country because I'm fearing for my life. They're like, okay, no problem, fine. They put you on a plane and drop you off in another country where you had no ties and you may not know anyone. And so a federal judge today stopped that. Tara, are you here?
They should deport them to the moon.
Oh, wait, Jonathan, I'm here and I know
talk
about
real quick,
this
Go, go,
too.
go, go. Then, Khaleesi, you're not on camera. That's why I didn't call. Go ahead, Khaleesi. Let's do it.
Sorry, yeah, because I'm heating up food. But anyway, so this is so wild, y'all, because this actually goes back to the deportation of those. I can't remember. I think they were from Venezuela.
Yeah, I have Venezuelans.
And those individuals to El Salvador. And the thing about this El Salvador prison is that not only is it on Human Rights Watch, but once you go in, there's no list of who's there. So it's a place to disappear people. Trump paid $6 million to send people there. I don't know how much we spend on prisons each year, but like in LA County, they spend $1 million per kid that's incarcerated each year. So, 6 million compared to whatever that number is, it's insane the discount that he's getting to be able to send these people to what I believe is a literal concentration camp.
Yeah, is Cindy here? Cindy, are you here, Cindy? No, she's not. I wanted to talk about this while Cindy was here.
So, if I
Uh,
can, Jonathan, this
what's
is related to my Dateline a couple days ago, where I talked about this young lady who's named. Let me see. I got the story again right here. Here it is because I saved it. Her name is Ma Yang. She was born in Thailand, lives in Milwaukee, was deported to Laos, and she's been in the country of Laos for the last week. And she doesn't speak Laos or Laotian. She's not from there. She doesn't have an ID from there. She wasn't even born in that country. And so they don't know what to do with her either. So they've just been sort of keeping her in a place with a guard nearby because we deported someone to a country they weren't even born in. I'm going to post the article again. I talked about it on the Dateline a couple days ago. It's still a wild story and just as insane as it was 72 hours ago.
all right. So anyway, guys, speaking of that, and I wanted Cindy to get in here because Christy Nome is like one of her best friends. Okay, and so Christy Nome went down there to that jail, and she was walking around touring that jail with a $50,000 plus Rolex, $50,000 plus Rolex on, walking through that complex. It was crazy. So I just as you look at this, the optics just didn't look good. I don't know if anyone else saw that. She's walking around at that jail, and they're finding out that many of those people, as we said before, that was deported, most of them almost were not gang members. Were not gang members. They were regular people, and they were crying. They were fearing for their life. They've never been in jail. And guys, I don't know if you guys know Sincop. I don't know what the Trump's arrangement is with Sincop, but people that go there, they don't get out. I don't know if that's the arrangement we have with them. But that's how it is in Venezuela. I mean, not Venezuela, in El Salvador. If you go to Sincop, you don't get out.
The only other place that I remember people being sent to like that was, when they sent the Jews to the death camps, respectfully. Like, it's giving Auschwitz.
Wow. So, yeah.
Nah, they did it in Israel.
Who's that?
I'm saying they went to Gaza and they rounded up regular Gazans and called them Hamas. You don't remember that? You was actually an advocate for that, Jonathan. You remember that?
Oh,
No.
that was oof. But
Oh,
wait, because
ooh,
they didn't.
ooh.
They
Yeah,
just
look at
killed
his
them.
face.
They just killed them. They didn't put them in a camp and then kill them. It's a different. It's a different facilitation of violence. I feel like that's extra evil.
Extra evil. Now, guys, what's going on? That jail's no joke. It really is nothing to sneeze about. It's crazy. So yeah, so that happened, guys. Stocks took a dive today, and consumer confidence is like really low. Guys, these tariffs are now these tariffs are just, when you look at these tariffs and what's going on, guys, our economy. I mean, I know people say that the economy, was bad under Biden. Biden had a great economy. I'll say it again. Biden handed over a great economy, right? But and it's sad that people in MAGA, they're not going to realize this until 6 years or 10 years when they look at the history books, and then they're able to admit it because we're far enough away. They won't admit it in the next 4 years, but 6 to 10 years they'll start admitting that it was a great economy. And in this short period of time, things have changed. Things have changed dramatically, and that's because of these tariffs. And Pete Hegseth, Seth, guys, Pete Hex got a fresh tattoo. Okay, it says kafir. I don't know anyone. Anyone here?
No, are you serious right now, Jonathan?
I
So
mean, that's how is
He
that
got
any
a
different than
tattoo
the
that says
Deuce
Kafir.
Bolt? He has
yes,
Deuce Bolt too, or Voot, or whatever it is.
Yeah, he's got Deus Vult, which means God wills it, which the Crusaders used to chant when they were on the Crusades, massacring people in Jerusalem. But Kafir, if
Also,
you
the
don't,
Nazis.
Kafir is like infidel, right? Like it's
infidel.
like a
Yes.
curse in Islam.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
I,
and it's very Islamophobia. And so our Secretary of State went and got a fresh tattoo that says kafir. So if you guys, hey, Scold, if you can you do a quick Google on that and bring an article up, guys? Yeah, he has a tattoo. He went out and got a tattoo that says kafir. Guys, that just doesn't. I mean, and obviously it was seen. You can see it. He put somewhere where you can see, and that, I mean, people are up in arms over that,
But Jonathan,
guys.
this is what happens when you have a DUI hire.
Not DUI. I thought you said
No, I said
DUI.
DUI because we all know Pete Hegseth is also an alcoholic. He's a hot ass mess. Pete
That
Hegseth,
is
come on.
hilarious. That is hilarious.
For real, like we have a
That's
DUI
funny.
hire who he doesn't even know who he's adding to group chats. Then he's sharing state secrets. Like, y'all, it's a DEI hire. He did not earn it, and it is a mess.
Speak head chef, because all this stuff is in my head. He hired his younger brother for a high level position in the Pentagon. Okay, and his only experience he had was social media manager or something like that. So he hired his brother. Guys, nepotism. This is it's all because so these are some of the things that's happening right now. When you look at the Telegram, when you look at this, when you look at the fact that they had Signal, the Signal chat. Okay. Hey, by the way, Pam Bondi is not even going to investigate the Signal incident. No investigations whatsoever. None.
So, Jonathan, because Chad's not here, and I wish he was, as a former Marine, it's just, let me just say one thing. It's, I think he's too gun ho, as we would say. Young, learning from the, ground up, truth, did it all. But management, and at that level, it's something deeper. It takes a lot of experience in grooming. But let me be very, very clear. The other side, nepotism, Jonathan, you just mentioned it, and all that oligarchy and family shit, this has been the rule of game. So something needed to change. I just hope it's not this too extreme for
Okay,
whatever you
LSD,
refer.
wait, because
Oh, no,
Pete
no, I'm not
Hegseth is
LSD. Please,
44
please,
years
please
old.
stop, stop.
That is not young. We need to stop the games respectfully, okay? We not doing that. 44 years old is a whole grown person. You could have a kid that is also an adult old, okay? So no, 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 no.
So
He is a DUI hire who can't get himself together. We are not going to give him grace. 44 years old. Bruh. Are you kidding me?
LSD, go ahead.
If you call me LSD, Jonathan, it's me and you. She can do that. I'm gonna give her a grace. But listen, it's not. You're right. I got you, and I respect you. I'm telling you. I'm not talking about you, Jonathan. I'm talking about Carissa. What's your name? How do I pronounce your name?
Kalisha.
Kalisha. Let me keep it clear. Kalisha. I will never forget it. And I will always remember and be respectful of you. You're right. I'm just talking about military and the old game. And I remember I opened up and said I wish Chat was here because she speaks more articulate than me and gets to the point and it's very distinct. And I just wish she was here.
2 hours later.
Wait, Jonathan, did we talk about the other person that was hired to the Pentagon?
Who's that?
Big
Pentagon?
Balls?
Oh we got Maze Love in the audience. Go
Big
ahead.
Balls. Wait, have we talked about Big Balls?
No, go ahead. Let's talk about it.
Okay, so he's this internet dude. I can't remember his real name, but he goes by the moniker Big Balls, which should already be a red flag because who is Big Balls? Like, excuse me? But anyway, so he started this software company in high school and he basically he provides like caching and some other type of service to this business that I can't remember the name of right now either, but basically they were doing a whole bunch of cyber illegal stuff where they would like steal. They were doxing FBI agents and breaking all of these laws. And so now this person who was partnered with a criminal organization is working in the Pentagon, or maybe it's for the DOJ.
He's working for Doge, I think.
Yes,
That's what
it
it
is
is.
Doge.
Yeah.
It is Doge. And that's the most alarming because Doge has all your personal information. So we have someone who is doxing FBI agents and who knows what else, and they know my social security number? That is not comforting.
That's true. That's true, guys. So once again, guys, man, there's a lot going on. There's a lot happening here, and a lot of you guys, when we speak about this, you guys feel free to jump in because, this administration so far gives us so much content. It really is, And the Attorney General from Wisconsin, is going after Elon. All right. And I think Miki brought this up because he's trying to do that $1 million a day thing once again, trying to buy another election. So this is getting to be a bit ridiculous right now because they're out there trying to buy elections, trying to pay people to sign up to vote and do the same thing he did with the federal elections. So that's something that's happening as well, guys. There's a lot happening now, guys. Once again, the grad student that was detained, they picked her up off the streets of Boston. She was actually the way they came after her. It was weird. They came up and they grabbed her. It almost looked like they snatched her up and put her on a plane to Louisiana really quickly. The same thing they did with the gentleman from New York. And they told him that they're revoking his visa. He goes, I don't have a visa. I have a green card. They said, okay, well, we're revoking that. Guys, this administration has shown it's about revenge, retribution, and loyalty. That's what it's about. And so that's something that's quite troubling, actually. It's quite troubling. So with that being said, guys, there's a lot to jump in. There's a lot to discuss here, guys. I'm just, at this point in time, just is America. I mean, has Trump made America more loved or hated? Obviously, my answer is going to be he made it more hated. And he didn't have to. Our allies, NATO. Here's the thing. Putin actually spoke up and said what Trump wants with Greenland is pretty much said, I think, so he called it something. I don't want to misquote him, but basically, he said it was, like not a bad thing. And that's because Putin's going after Ukraine because Putin today said that his goal is to finish Ukraine, to make it no longer exist, pretty much to absorb Ukraine into Russia. So, I mean, guys, that's who we're supporting, the United States. And I thought about this, and I think about Iran, okay? And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm thinking about Iran right now when I think about the U.S., because a lot of people, guys, right now, we are sitting here, and when they went to Greenland, okay, when the Vances went to Greenland, and the Greenlandic people, they're like, we don't want you around. The ones that agreed to host them said, no, we're no longer going to host you. Then they start going knocking door to door to find out if they can find a family to host them. They're like, hell no, get the hell up out of here. So they didn't even go down. They probably went like it was like they I think 700 miles away or something like that. Uh, on the space base. But with that being said, folks, what's troubling here is the fact that our country right now, when you look at Iran, most people don't know that Iran, the people, is like very favorable to the U.S. Not they're not the IRGC. I'm wondering how many people know that we're not Donald Trump. Because for the longest time when you speak about Iran, you spoke about the actions of the IRGC and the mullahs and the Ayatollah, and we colored the whole country with their actions. How many people are coloring our whole entire country with Trump's actions? And don't say, as Americans, we get so freaking self-absorbed when we're saying, well, people know that we don't think like that because more of us probably dislike him than like him, whatever. That's just not the way it works, folks. That's not the way it works. People, as an American, people are going to judge you if you travel abroad. Okay, people are going to judge you by the actions of this administration, and that I think that can be dangerous. So,
Well, Jonathan, to give you street, most of the Persians, they're called Persians, Iranians, about 2 million.
They're not all called Persians. They're not all called Persians.
Right. Well, they refer to themselves. I got.
Not all that.
Well, let me finish.
We have a Persian. We have a positive. Are you here, positive?
Well, but Jonathan, the population is in LA. About 2 million or 3 million of Iranians are in Los Angeles and Southern California. I'm telling you. So you're right. They don't see themselves, they distinct themselves from that. But, however, because a lot of them migrated, even Beverly Hills and everything else. That's why I said Persia, okay? Or Farsi, if you could speak Farsi. But a lot of them migrate from that. I'm talking about the West Coast. I can only talk about where I'm at. I won't talk about anything else. They don't see themselves in that same vein, but it is troubling, okay? Because they don't agree with the regime, but the way it's being gone about is wrong. And I agree with you. That's all I was going to say.
Listen, I'm gonna call Cap, and I have no dog in this fight. But here's my problem, Jonathan. We're talking right now. We're having a conversation about people that aren't even here. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh well, if these people were here, they would feel this way. If those people were here, they would feel this way. And I don't know. I don't think that we should represent people that are not here to represent themselves. That's all. I yield.
Jonathan, why don't you tell them about the Make America Go Away hat that is selling fast thanks to Greenland?
Well, go ahead, tell us about it. Let's do it.
Oh, because they were so upset about your vice president coming and blocking him from going anywhere. They had to go interfere with troops who were having lunch just to try to show up today on the news. They created hats in Greenland that says "Make America Go Away," and they're selling out fast. Go on X, you'll see it's trending. "Make America Go Away." People are trying to buy the hats worldwide.
Yeah, but go ahead.
So, if I may, real quick, I was talking to some people in Hong Kong, and I've worked with these guys for a little while. They were unaware of my level of Cantonese. They knew that I had spent some time in Hong Kong, but did not know. And Trump came up during the conversation, and a phrase was used. And at first, I thought it meant seeing, and I was like, "That's not quite right." I didn't parse that right. And then I realized what they had said was, "We've seen who you are." Is basically what it is. Basically close to what it means, right? It's like I've seen what you're about, right? Is like a way you could say it almost. I've seen your intent, right? And yeah, that's people in other countries view us this way now, and it's very hard for us to say some of us didn't vote for him. We elected him twice. Okay. It may that excuse might have worked the first time. It doesn't work the second time. And then one last thing, you mentioned 2 students that have been black bagged by ICE. There was a third one 6 hours ago from the University of Alabama. He was taken. I'm going to post the article.
So he was rescued. If he's down in Alabama, not just kidding. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry. That was a jab at Alabama. I'm sorry. I should have done that. Um,
But I mean, it's kind of true. Like, this is really like giving like civil rights era, or I don't know if you've seen How to Be a Dictator on Netflix, but it's giving How to Be a Dictator vibes. We're disappearing people who disagree with the political state. What is going on? It's
I
just not
agree.
cute. I have a
I'm gonna say what.
diabolical legal theory, but I don't know if you guys want to hear it.
Go ahead. Let's do
Yes.
it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, so basically, I think what's going to happen is because Donald Trump has enacted the 1798 Alien Enemies Act, he's going to use that to declare people who are convicted of multiple crimes or gang members that are citizens as enemies of the state. Okay? So, what this does is it puts the ability to deport them into question because they're considered enemies of like the United States as a whole. They're basically considered terrorists. And so then by incarcerating them, which is like the 13th Amendment, you can basically say that okay, this person's convicted of a crime, they can be a slave. Now, we know that slaves are not citizens. So that means that basically what we're going to start to see, if this really goes diabolically, is that they arrest and like falsely accuse and put people in jail who they perceive as enemies of whatever their narrative is, and then they drop us off in that Salvadorian prison to die. God bless.
Kalisha, you are absolutely right. I'm so happy that someone can see this. So basically, there was a Russian researcher. There was some recordation of her protesting the Ukrainian war, for instance, okay? And so she was carrying frog embryos, which she did not declare. Normally, you get a fine for that or some kind of citation. Well, what they end up doing is they end up canceling her visa. We are getting ready to see not just hardened criminals. That's going to be the first step. The second step is I'm going to tell you guys, remember your
Hardened criminals, get off my frog embryos. Sorry, love
no,
you.
it's not going to be just hardened criminals, guys. Listen to this, right? I don't know. You know about the guy. Everybody agrees. A lot of people agree because of the pro-Palestinian protester at Columbia University. What I'm going to tell you is that people that are starting to like disagree with the government, like freedom of speech is getting ready to get chipped away more and more. If you notice, you have to watch what Trump did. Trump said that he wanted to classify people who were vandalizing the Tesla stores as terrorists. So what they're going to consider is that everyday average law-abiding Americans, I believe, may be subject to getting their citizenship stripped away, and hitting the birthright citizenship is just the first step. And I'm so glad, Kalisha, that you see the play, because a lot of people don't.
So, birthright citizenship is another way that they're attacking this to be able to revoke people's citizenship to be able to send them to the death camp. But remember, y'all, first, who do they come for? They come for the universities. Like, I don't know why people don't just read. This is standard playbook, except this isn't fascism because it's dark enlightenment. And I'm going to keep saying dark enlightenment over and over until people really start Googling it and
Okay,
looking
but here's
into
the
what it
thing,
is.
Kalisha, if I may, here's the thing. You're coming in kind of hot and new to a lot of the audience here. So I am not my moderation here is not pushing back in any way. It's more to clarify and make sure that everyone understands what it is you're saying.
Well, I'm a pop in
One
here.
second, one second, guys, because she was saying something, and go ahead. I want her to finish saying what she's saying.
Oh, you want me to define dark enlightenment, Daphne?
Sure.
Yes,
Okay.
Sure.
ma'am, that's exactly what I'm
No,
saying.
I
Thank you.
100%. Okay. So
This is new for a lot of us.
So this is going to sound like the wildest conspiracy theory, like on crack. So
Oh
just
boy.
know that it's not my idea. So these ideas, like at least the iteration that we know of right now, was created by this guy named Curtis Yarvin. Okay, so he is a neo accelerationist, and what dark enlightenment theory is it's a combination of neo accelerationist and like what I call theology bros, or it's called like theo millennials. And I know you guys don't know what those words either mean, so I'm gonna get there. Sorry. This is like a these people think they're intellectuals, but it's going to be like the dumbest shit you've ever heard. But anyway, so the neo accelerationists are people who want to have more technology because they want things to go faster. But the idea is that, that's pretty left wing. They want a lot of changes. They want us to progress and make and do new things through technology. The caveat here is that sorry if this is like a lot, but the caveat here is that these people also don't believe in democracy. They are pro monarchy, where they basically have a CEO instead of a king, and they think that we should run as like our government should be like a corporation rather than a democracy. The other side is, your run of the mill Christian nationalists, who think that basically we should combine our government with religion because this country was founded, for the Christians. And through that, we would have one person who is in charge that's ordained by God. Okay. Dark Enlightenment theory marries these two because it's like the J.D. Vances, the Peter Thiels, the Elon Musks of the world. And you're like, what? Because I thought we talked about people who were on the left, and then we know that the Christian nationalists are on the right. Well, they're libertarians. So because of that, they have a weird, incestuous relationship where they come together. And this is why you're seeing people like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel in the White House. And it's also why, even if we get rid of Trump, it's not going to help because JD Vance believes in this too. And so does Pete Hegseth. It's actually why, if you think about it, he has all of that crusade regalia all over his body. He has the Jerusalem cross because he promotes that theo millennial ideology where we're pushing toward a Christian nationalist government. And, then he's BFFs with JD Vance, who is more of a techno bro.
Kalisha, I'm gonna.
She's a smart little spicy cookie, isn't she?
I'm sorry. What?
I said she's a smart little spicy cookie,
Well,
isn't
no.
she?
I'm going to disclose something to the room, Jonathan. I'll be quick. The book. Okay, so I'll put it in the chat. So, Kalisha, and build on it. The book you're talking about. There's a book. It's called Technocracy.
Mm-hmm.
It's by Peter Wood. And it talks about a new, well, forget Levin. It goes beyond that. And I've talked to Skoll about this, but I haven't mentioned this. It talks about what a new world order would be with techno kings. I personally don't believe in that. Okay. I am in tech. I'm in real estate and money and so forth and doing my best to build. But I don't believe in leaving anything one behind. And I worry sometimes if this world gets to that point, because you're right. That's why I'm in this room. A lot of symptoms. I'm not saying they're in fact, they're leading to that. And we are going toward that. And most people don't even know what AGI is or what artificial superintelligence is. They don't know. They think they know, but they really don't know what's coming.
Yes. Okay. So that was actually a
Hold
really
on.
good
I'm sorry.
point.
Just let me land, because Jonathan,
Go
I
ahead.
just want. I don't want
Sorry,
this
I
to
was
lose.
trying to build.
Yeah, I know you
All
can,
right.
but I don't want to lose context. I'm saying uh, Nelson came in the room and we were talking about stocks and XAI, or Grok and what could build, and Skoll touched upon that about the markets. What's coming could be something wrong. I mean, I'm not a whistleblower. I'm trying to build in that world. I believe it's betterment. I believe in that for humanity. But let me be very, very, very clear. I grew up in the hood. I'm not trying to stay here longer than my life. If I live 80 years, thank you, God. I go home. I'm done with this planet. I don't want to live forever. Period.
But I don't think
And
people know what you mean when you say that.
well, I know you can break it down. You broke it down earlier, transhumanism, but you can build on that. But my point is, there are people. You're right, and I watched this grow. I watched it. I talked about crypto before it was crypto and never invested in it. In 2010, wrote a book about it in 2017. It's public. When it was $900 a coin, never minded, never speculated. And people say you're a fool. I know what's coming. Always have, in a sense.
Yeah,
This
man. Yeah. What
no,
strain are
no.
you
I'm
smoking?
Jonathan. I'm landing,
LS,
but
what
she's
strain are you
trying to.
smoking?
What
No,
we're
he's
talking
being like
about is a deeper
100% though.
conversation to her
No, he's talking
concept.
about he knows what's coming.
I mean,
No,
Say
I think
that.
when
because
he says that, he knows like where the goals
I'll
of
put
this.
Jonathan. I will put my book I published in 2017.
Play the Twilight Zone music.
No, it's not that anyone can buy. Where I predicted crypto would never go down to $900 a coin. All you people speculated 900, not 9,000.
Big on you people.
So
I think he's
listen,
going on.
let's listen. I'm not talking about that because sometimes I don't come off mic for this because it can affect me personally. My point is,
I
when
respect
you
that.
know what's coming, sometimes some people, they come to Jesus. I've always have been that, but they don't in a realistic sense, not a religious sense.
Amen.
That you don't want the world to go worse because you may know. So I'm maybe speaking too much, but anyway, all I'm
Nah, thanks for
saying is
sharing,
that
LSJ, and getting your book.
I'll put the book of technocracy in the chat so everyone can read it and build to what you're talking about.
So, a couple of things he mentioned, like part of this idea is that these are people who want to live forever. So that was like the thing about him not wanting to live over 80
Yeah,
years.
transhumanism. Yes, correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then also the technocracy and like AI, that has to do with the idea that we should optimize the workforce and have like AI and robots replace a lot of the working class
Well, that's
because
secondary. Just to be clear, that's
wait,
secondary.
but
But
there's more because they basically want to discard all of the poor people. They're like, we should just like basically put them in the matrix. These are things that sound egregious and hyperbolic, but these are literally all things that Curtis Yarvin has said, and he went to the White House. Like these are
Kalisha, it's not poor. It's everyone. You're not hearing me. It's everyone.
it's not everyone because they believe in a natural hierarchy. So they believe that white people are inherently superior and more intelligent, but they also think that Asians are they think that no, not Asians, the Chinese specifically, they carved out as
Correct.
being like even more intelligent than white people
But he
possibly.
only listen. I'm going to be clear, so you can be so the room can be educated. It's not what you're saying. It's everyone. Anyone that doesn't merit a certain intellectual IQ and an ability to adapt and grow ex, exponentially. You're talking about a world that we don't want to, that I don't want to live in. You're talking about a different world. I'm saying you're touching up on it, but it's not what you're saying. The book Technocracy, I'll put it in chat so anyone can read it. Please read it, guys. It's cheap on Amazon. I'm gonna put that chat in the chat. Read it, was associated with a friend of the author, which opened my eyes. And I grew up with nothing, still have nothing, still building. And I wondered why, even though I control a lot of things on my own patents and everything, why this doesn't take off on the stock market. And I bucked them because I'm older than 42. And I said, I'll just die with
Wait,
it or
you
live with it.
what?
I'm older than 42. So I
No,
said,
you
what?
said what? You did
I,
what to them?
I bucked them, meaning like I said, buck. I used the word buck, meaning they're saying we'll give you X or this much. You can be this person. I'm like, no, I'll just keep it and build it later because I already said what was coming. But that's not me. It's not about my. I'm not. Listen, I want to take this off me. I'm trying to say a story
Wait,
in
this was
parallel.
never on you. What are
No,
we
but my
doing?
point is, I'm looking at macro because there are certain people. I'm just giving hope to the. There are people that are in tech. Skull is one of them, in my opinion. We've talked offline. There are people who believe in the greater good. And it's not one side or the other. Like parents who work hard, you do what you do, no matter where you come from. We believe in these ideas, these values.
Scald, he said he's in your back channel. What's that about? You in his back channel? What's going on?
That's Jonathan shutting me up. That's what that means. Okay, I'm done.
Bless his
Folks,
heart.
just to wrap this up real quick, if anyone wants to read a very quick article on this, this was written in 2024, but it references an article in 2022. And I know that a lot of you guys probably won't bother to read this. So now I'm going to take
Oh, I'm
the
sorry, Score.
opportunity
You
to
found the
just,
book? You already put the
I'm
book in
going
the
to
chat?
take the
Yo, why,
opportunity to
Ellis? Why
just,
are you cutting the man off while he's
I'm
talking? You just talk.
asking him
Oh,
because I don't have
no,
to
no,
do
no.
it.
But that's not what you do, bro. We're
Okay, I'm sorry.
recording.
I'm
no,
sorry.
Yeah,
no, no,
yeah.
this is the article about dark enlightenment. So I'm just going to call out
Go ahead,
two
read it.
things that it says in
Yes.
here. First, it says Yarvin said in 2022, he said the first goal is to retire all government employees. Huh? Does that sound like it's happening?
2025.
Right, right. But he said this in 2022. He said the next goal is to strike out at universities, who are the heart of the problem. Where are we bagging
Bruh.
people? Okay. And then the third thing he said is that he would like to see a CEO of America. Well, that's not a president, that's Elon Musk. Read that article, realize that this guy and people like him have been talking about this plan for years. So you guys have heard of Project 2025. You've heard of that. I want to let everybody here know that you haven't heard of this. It's also part of the plan. I land.
Yep. And the crazy thing is, and thank you, Scald and Kalisha, for that, is that these things do kind of happen surreptitiously, right? Everyone is literally waiting for them to get an email or knock on the door. It's kind of like when I talk about when someone dies, there's not someone from the government or your family that just comes in and says, oh, let me tell you every single thing that your beloved loved one was doing, right? They had this over here, they had that over there, they were funding icky things, they had a house, they had whatever, right? So it's just kind of crazy to me. And just to take it back to the last administration, I've worked with a lot of people professionally that had to do business overseas. Some of them were C-suite, and you're never supposed to talk about politics in the office, but politics is the economy and finance, so there you go. But I remember distinctly people saying that when they were going overseas, sometimes in the UK or Germany or wherever, that people were literally right up front when they would sit down to meet saying, "Do you support Donald Trump?" And I work with someone who, when I worked with someone, a friend of mine who was like that did a lot of purchasing for a major corporation. And he would tell me how they would almost immediately start talking about politics because they were not pro Trump whatsoever. Trump was seen as very disruptive. As we know about, I'm not talking about new money. I'm not talking about the people that do a trade and make $5 in the stock market, right? Because if it doesn't sustain itself, that's just to pay bills, pretty much. You're not investing it, you're just generating income. Good for you, right? It kind of moves a little slow. Finance is slow. Banking is slow. That's why financial institutions, people don't like them, but that's usually for your benefit because people get excited by money. That's new money. It's not old money, right? They've been there, done that. It's going to be here in the next 100 years, whatever. So I'm just super concerned about this because, guys, the crazy part is you actually have people that are applauding these things, even though they're going to be the ones impacted, right? They're not the ones in the smoke filled rooms. They don't have access to the people in the smoke filled rooms, but yet they are the ones that are basically saying, yes, bring this upon us as a nation. It's insane. I've never seen it before in my life. It's just completely ridiculous. And I'm still going to laugh at them too. I am. But oh well.
And my apologies, Jonathan, for cutting Skull off. I just wanted to say that the book is in the chat. It's Technocracy, The Hard World to World Order. I put it in the chat and I put the book title so everyone can find it. I would hope you guys could read it or buy it if you can. And maybe you can make it available. But that's something to wake up, Kalisha, to what you were talking about. That gives you a lot of facts of what you're talking about without an article, without hearsay, and without certain people. And I'm done.
I have a question. How many January Sixers, okay, were green card holders?
Sixers or Xers?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Woo! Ay, ay,
Do
ay.
me a favor,
Do you
please.
know?
Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I want to know how many January Sixers were green card holders or visa holders and have been deported as a result because everyone was pardoned. Okay. And I'm wondering how that happened because right now, this is about picking sides. And every time you speak to a MAGA, they're talking about how they're winning and how they have to destroy the enemy, which is their fellow Americans. So I just wonder how many January Sixers, and we need to figure that out. How many January Sixers had green cards, and are visa holders that were protesting, and how many of those people have been removed from the country?
That's so interesting. I think it's about the same number of immigrants from South Africa that Elon Musk saved that have been deported. You know the ones, the farmers, the white
Zero,
farmers. Yeah, correct. Correct.
zero. So yeah, guys, no, definitely want to do that because these people that's being deported, these students, and guys, they are going after the university. What Trump did is he did something that no one was able to do before. He started messing around with the funding, okay, and Congress is scared to do anything about it, and he convinced Columbia and everyone else to change what they were doing, okay, to appease them because he messing with the funding. Guys, America is it's going to be a quite different place. It is a quite different place. It's going to be a quite different place after this administration. All
But
right.
Jonathan, Cuck Schumer is, I just feel like that's an excuse. Like,
Chuck
I
Schumer
feel
did the
like,
right thing. I'm sorry. We're going to disagree.
no, that is, okay, look, what Cuck Schumer did was make it easier for them to do what they were already going to do. Like, this is a plan, like you said, that has been in motion for quite some time. This is already cooked up. So, what Cuck Schumer did was bend over. And I said Cuck, not Chuck, because I call him Cuck Schumer. Because, y'all, he did not stand up for anything. These people did not save the government. Do not buy that cooked up, like, pseudo democratic, I actually saved the world, and none of these other people were smart enough to know what the real thing was and actually do it. Like, that's gaslighting at its finest.
What I'll say is this right here. I think Chuck Schumer had a choice to make, and had he let the government shut down, I think Elon and Trump would have had their way. They would start saying, "Okay, this is non-essential." He gets to pick what's non-essential. Okay, and then they get to choose when to come back to the table. All right. So had he done that, the Democrats would have gotten their ass spanked, and that's why I think the Democrats are going to. The Democrats are going to. They would, if that happened, the Democrats would have taken a beating for
But
that.
they have 30 days. Like, we did have time. It wasn't as imminent that as we made it seem. So, like, fight till the end. Don't give up. I just feel like that was a give up. We could have
I
pushed to
I
limit some of the policies.
I was angry with Chuck Schumer as well, but as I started looking more and more into it, had he not done that, all the power would have been in Donald Trump's and Elon's hands because they got to start shutting down non-essential, and they're already looking to fire people, so they're going to get rid of all those people. So you're non-essential, you're non-essential. You know people they're going to get rid of, calling them non-essential.
Do you know how many people they've already gotten rid of?
Of course, I do. Of course,
Yeah,
and
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that we are looking at this from a reactionary standpoint instead of looking at it and being proactive. Because the thing is, you are never going to, like, when someone attacks you, they've attacked. You're caught with your pants down, okay? The Democratic Party and the rest of America has been caught with their pants down. Just getting knocked over is not going to make it easier. Like, just accepting that is, we have to keep trying, even if our pants are around our ankles. We can't just give up. And Chuck Schumer, just gave up.
no, he did not. Guys, listen to me. He had to be the bad guy. I'm sorry, he had to be the bad guy. Okay, and let everyone else campaign off of that. But he had to be the bad guy. He had to be. Had he not done that, uh, what would have happened here is they would have turned that against the Dems, and they would use it against the Dems, and a lot of people would have lost their jobs. A lot more people would have lost their jobs, and they
But a
would.
lot more people are losing their jobs anyway. They're
Yeah, I
still doing
understand
the
that.
same thing.
I
They're
agree.
still like I don't know why. This was a test of people's willingness to push back. And Chuck Schumer bent over. He did. He
Yeah,
said, "Take my wife."
yeah,
Like, what is going
yeah.
on?
Guys. Let me ask you something. Would you? I mean, had they shut it down, first thing Elon and Doge would have done is like, okay, you're not essential, you're not essential, you're not essential. Get them out of here, and then they would start the process of keeping them out of there. So,
But they've done
that,
that. Literally,
yeah,
we are at a
yes,
place
they
where
would have done
Trump is
more.
defying
Khaleesi, they
court
would have done
orders.
more. They would have done more.
I don't. I think that like that's an easy thing to say. Like,
No, it's real though. It's real. You don't think that they would? Hey guys, do me a favor. Share the room, man. Share the room. All right, share the room. Let's put them. Let's put them all. Let's put them bye bye, guys. Let's put them bye bye. Share the room, guys. Let's put them bye bye. Share the room. Let everybody know we're still up here and rocking. All right. So, but what I would say to you is this right here, Khaleesi. I get what you're saying, and I share the same anger. But you got to look at it. Chuck played his role. We had to have a sacrificial person, and that was Chuck. And people that don't go beyond the headlines or whatever, they tend to get stuck in like, yep, you're to blame, you're to blame. But had Chuck not done that, and those would have went in there, all the people they're firing, they would have been able to do it again, and they would be able to do it with cover, okay, of the government being shut down. And then no court orders were saved. And they can keep pushing that thing, pushing it until they're ready to come back to the table.
okay, Jonathan, this is a negotiation. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
instead, that's what this bill was. So instead of counter offering, they just accepted a low ball. That's ridiculous. You can always counter. We had 30 days. That is sufficient time to send a counter proposal back to the House.
I agree. No, I get that. I agree. I guess they're like, hey, let's move on to something else. Guys, listen to me. Khaleesi, what do you think is going to happen during the midterms?
I think that we are 2 months into Trump's presidency. How dare we look at the midterms? The world is on fire. We might not make it there. Like, I'm more concerned about people realizing what is happening now, because there will be no midterms in 2 years if we do not get our shit together.
You know what? Sadly, I agree with you. Sadly, I agree with you. Sadly, I agree with you.
I like hate to say that too, because I mean, I'm someone who did the right thing. I went to law school. I worked hard. I tried to make something of myself. And these motherfuckers are throwing it in the trash. That's not fair. That's not what I want. I want to be rich and have nice things and live a nice life. I want to live the
Already
American dream.
Stop crying. You're already rich. But the point, I think,
Damn,
I'm calling him out. Call him out. Call him out. Call
Yeah,
him out.
she
Mickey,
just
she done
stopped.
Let's
her.
call him out.
She
But
just
Mickey,
stopped.
she
You're
done her.
She
You
She
just
can
done
get
her.
it
stopped.
too, ma'am.
I want to be rich. I want to have. This is not fair. This is not fair.
I love Kalisha, I do, but have y'all seen those Republican town halls? They are
Uh,
cratering
they're
them.
on fire. They're
Yes,
on
they
fire.
are. Midterms.
I go try to watch
Woo.
just to catch the heat because they're sitting there. They try to be cool, and they're like, "Yeah, these are Democrats," and these people are like, "No, we're registered Republicans," and they're even more offended for being called Democrats. Yeah,
But
but
I'm
go
gonna say,
ahead.
Oh
but
yeah,
I'm
they're
gonna
No,
say to you.
crashing
Mickey was
out.
talking, bro. Mickey was talking. LS, she
I'm
just
sorry. I'm
asked.
sorry. I'm excited. I'm sorry.
No, what I was going to pause. What I was going to say is I think that the core American person who is the traditional Republican or newly minted Democrat who decided to vote MAGA, who was the Obama voter and who really didn't want to vote for Hillary, I get it. A lot of people didn't. And voted for Biden is really confused by what's going on. These town halls are not getting coverage, but what I see is little old ladies and veterans getting on these people about these cuts. They just announced cuts to the Health and Human Services Department. right? Those are people that are on social benefits. One out of every two Americans is on a social benefit, meaning that you are receiving Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. You have a grant, you have a loan, a Stafford loan, right? You have a Pell Grant. So this impacts a lot of people. That Republican budget that literally wants to target social services, like people are getting pissed off. Those cut to the veterans, Jonathan. I just can't believe, y'all, that they would even try that. You're literally attacking older voters and senior citizens and students and teachers and educators. Those are the people that get the word out. So if we have a legal election, emphasis on legal, I think the Republicans are going to get their butts handed to them. Trump is taking these people way too much for granted, right? There's only a few diehard Trumpers like Trisha in the chat. Everyone else has a brain and they're using it to think for themselves, and they are not happy. This has nothing to do with the Dems.
They're
Let
communists.
Trump go. See what I said? Let Trump go, and he's going to kill it himself. He's already doing it.
But Miki, they don't know that anti DEI equals anti veteran. Like, hello, you do realize DEI doesn't mean black. I know y'all anti black, but I don't think y'all are anti veteran. Come on. I don't think y'all are anti 95-year-old granny on a fixed income, because fixed means she relies on her social security to pay for her food and her dentures and her insulin every month. And now what? Y'all are playing with her. She's going to have to choose between her insulin and her food? Y'all are saying you want old people to die? This is another Trump attack on the other geriatrics. It's
Well,
crazy. First we saw it in COVID, and now we see him attacking old people in even other ways.
it's also
Kalisha, oh, go ahead.
no. Go ahead, Ellis.
But Kalisha, I want to say one thing. Regarding DEI, I think one major company is a bank, and maybe someone can help me in the room. Skull, I'm always calling him Skull because I just go to him. But there is a bank, a major bank, that changed the term of DEI, but it still meant the same thing. And so the pushback, which needs to occur, and I am that. Let me be very clear and be very truthful of who I am. I'm not Republican or Democrat, and
Oh boy.
I'm not calling anyone out, but I don't switch. I've always been a libertarian. I am fiscally responsible, but socially responsible. That's what it truly means. And I'm a techie and in real estate as well these days, the last 2 years. But I don't believe in you leave no one behind, because there is no island on this earth. So we all live on one planet, and we haven't conquered anything yet. The moon, Mars, I don't give a fuck. We haven't conquered anything. And until we get there, which I may not be living, most likely I won't, until we get there, we're not there. We're here. So, I've talked about this publicly. How can you, in investment conferences, how can we go to the stars when we can't fix this planet? Just use the tech here. I've always said that. And so I'm going to say, Khalees, be mindful, because it's both sides, and we just got to watch. And I appreciate you, and I hope you keep coming back, because this is what I always loved about Debate the News, or back in 2024 years ago, when I could learn, and I can learn from others and respect others, and we can disagree all day on this or that, but we're not blinded by anything, because a blind man will leave everyone, or a blind person, off a damn cliff. And I'm done.
Hey, I wanted to jump back on something that Mickey said because I don't know if you guys saw this in the news. Mickey, you said something about the elections, and I keep hearing, a lot of Democrats or anti-Trumpers are leaning on this idea that 2026 is going to be a sure win. I just want to say that I assure you that they have plans. And one of the things that I recently heard Trump say, I don't know if anybody caught this, but there's going to be requirements to register to vote that you have to prove your citizenship. Has anybody seen that? But here's the trick
Yes.
to that. Anybody seen that? Okay, but here's the
Yes.
trick. Wait a minute, hold on one second. Here's the trick to that. You're not going to be able to use your birth certificate because of the birthright citizenship controversy to be able to prove citizenship. You won't be able to use your birth certificate. So they're going to make it an arduous task to be able to register voters. And we're going to see a lot of things come out that's going to suppress the vote between now and 2026. I assure you, they have a plan to deal with whatever it is that we thinking will be an advantage, come that time. So just wanted to, point that out.
Yeah, the problem with that, however, is the fact that you have to the states are in charge of the elections. They're not the federal government isn't in charge of the elections. The states are in charge of the elections. So his EO doesn't really mean a hill of beans. All right. So they probably if they have states that have I guess a Republican legislator or Republican governor, they probably they're probably like, oh, whatever. But yeah, the states are in charge of elections.
So Jonathan, I hear you on that, but isn't it the constitutional law that only American citizens can vote in a federal election?
I get what you're saying, but I think it's also that this mofo doesn't even know how the United States government works. I don't think he has a concept of checks and balances. So the protections that we're talking about aren't going to exist because really what they're talking about is making sure that the only people who can vote are people who are pro-Trumpers. They're talking about fixing an election. Subtly,
That's a
But
fact.
Kalisha, I want to interject if I may. No, it's deeper. It's
LS,
scary.
LS, 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 LS. You gotta stop it, bro. No, no, no. All right, when they're talking, you gotta let them talk, bro. I'm sorry. I don't mind you contributing, okay, but you're gonna have to let them talk when they're talking.
My apologies. My apologies.
I shut your old ass up. All right, go ahead, Cleese. Cleese, are you
Alicia, are you
there?
there? You're on mute.
my bad. So, yeah, I mean, that's my take. Like, I think that what we're seeing is a conditioning so that people soften to the idea of an authoritarian CEO.
Oh my God. I am so glad you're here. Lord have mercy. I do not have to have this conversation by myself anymore. No, absolutely. And so therefore, when we talk about things, the states, this, the states, that, the fact of the matter is that's not going to stop Trump for trying to invalidate an election. Trump and company to sue, in the court systems to sue against states and all of the things that they're going to do. My whole point is that everything they're doing, they have a plan. And it's like I was always saying in here, the Constitution doesn't allow this. The Constitution is a piece of fucking paper, right? It doesn't mean nothing. Right? It's a piece of paper. Money and wars and power, saying this is what and the people establishes the government and what the people are willing to do. And they've done so many social experiments on us over the last decade to realize that we ain't gonna do shit. We sit back and we watch things. We watch when Trump put the immigrants in cages. We watched that and did nothing about it. 125 people in a cell meant for 35, including children, and being mistreated. We didn't do anything about it. We don't care, and we're not going to do anything about this. And they know that we're not. They know that. They absolutely know that. So I am thinking that whatever it is that we're thinking, in 2 years, it's not going to work. They have a plan, and I land.
Bashan, what was the worst experiment that the government's done on us over the last decade, in your opinion?
Well, I said social experiments. So it wasn't necessarily about the worst experiments. It's been social experiments of varying degree to decide on how we're going to respond to certain things. And
Right. So give me an example.
I'm
Like,
not
what are
just
some
blaming
social
Trump for
experiments?
that. I mean, a social experiment could even be when Obama gave away the free phones. That's a social experiment. COVID was definitely a social experiment. How we responded to those who
Huh?
in prison. Yeah, COVID, in my opinion, was the law, not COVID itself, but the things that they put into place is a social experiment And anybody doesn't understand that, I don't really want to fight about it because that's my opinion. You can more than welcome to,
You mean
move
We're in
me. But
agreement.
quarantine?
Keep going.
Welcome to
so no,
Smart
a lot of
Person Talk.
there's several things that happened. There's several things that happened. So basically they were firing people who didn't want to get the vaccination, for instance, right? What I'm saying, when they do these things are done because they want to see how the people are going to respond. It doesn't, it's not that it's a bad thing that social experiments are performed, it's the outcomes. And I'm not saying that we didn't respond appropriately, but they want to know when there's an opportunity to learn from something such as a pandemic, there are going to be things that put in place and they're going to learn from it to see how do we respond during disaster. Do people adhere to the mandates? How are these how are we responding? And some of these things are good, and then some of the things are more nefarious. So my whole point is that the reason why I brought those things up is to say that they know, watching Trump be able to overcome every single issue that he did to become president again is a social experiment. In my personal opinion, I won't say that's a fact, that's my opinion. Is that it's a social experiment because they want to see, how we respond, um, and how we react towards things. And my point is they know that anybody who feels like there's an injustice or whatever, we're not going to do much, to do too much. We're going to riot, and maybe storm the Capitol. That's it. And I land.
Who's the
Oh,
they? Who's the they that's doing this experiment? I'm curious.
It's the
The
military
powers to
industrial
be,
complex.
the powers to be.
Is the military industrial complex. They're the ones running all these experiments. And you guys earlier were talking about it, but what's going on is this technocracy is they're creating their own military industrial complex utilizing technology, and that's the direction we're headed into. All of them, like every single one of them, not just Elon. And again, a lot of the money, like you have to ask yourself, like, where's this guy getting the money for his SpaceX projects and Starshield and all these other military grade.
The
Um,
government. What do
Oh,
you
we
it's
know
mean?
not
where
the
we
gov.
know
It's
where
not the
they're getting
government.
it
He's
from.
getting it. He's getting it from the military industrial. Like I'm telling you, like the military industrial complex. You guys need to go listen to what Eisenhower said about the military industrial complex, because that's really what's going on. Like, and you talk about social experiments. They're the ones who are running this shit. So make no mistake. They don't care about anybody. They don't care about you. They don't care about white people. They don't care about none of you guys. Like all they
Uh,
care about. All they care about is their domination over this globe. These people are evil. So if you think Trump and Elon are an issue, like you got a whole other thing coming. You gotta really look at who's giving them the money for to do any of this stuff. And go look into Starshield. Go look into Starshield. I guarantee it's gonna open up a lot of wormholes for you guys.
Thank you
well,
for
let
activating
me
my
hold
third
on.
eye.
Excuse me.
Hold
Let
on,
me.
hold on, hold on. Thank you for activating my third eye. The thing is, we know that the military industrial complex is a symptom of capitalism. It is not the root cause of what we are experiencing. It's just one piece of it. There's a healthcare industrial complex, which is the reason we don't have free healthcare for everyone. There's a nonprofit industrial complex, which incentivizes the poor to give just enough so that they don't have to pay taxes but still keep everyone else poor. Like, this is ultimately a symptom of the manufactured scarcity that we're living under. But I mean, who has time to really pay attention and dive that deep other than super privileged milquetoast liberals? Like, it's just an unfortunate fact of where we are today.
Well, Kalisa, I'm gonna say one thing. Nikolai Tesla, Nikolai, in the 1890s, late 1890s, early 1900s, talked about free energy for everyone, and I am obsessed with him. Have been for many years. I'm not talking about Tesla, the company. I'm talking about Nikolai. I have all his books, all his writings, his personal writings. It's something I collect on. So it's an interesting world when you think about it. Sometimes we're here for a minute, right? We don't know. Hopefully we can impact. We can do what we do. We can be who we are. But Nikolai, yeah, and by the way, Jonathan, which is fucked up, you may love this, would have probably been deported under the current regime. So you blew my mind. I mean, I'm not bullshitting. He would have probably been picked up and brought back because technically he was born
Nah,
in.
they would probably put a Musk on him. They would probably been like, "Yo, we need you. We need you in our government to."
Oh no, no, they wouldn't have.
They
No,
would
I'm
not.
talking about.
Why? Like they would have. How come they haven't deported Musk? Like they would have done
No,
the
no.
same
Let
thing
me
with
finish. Let me
Tesla.
finish what I'm saying, man. I'm talking about Nikolai Tesla would have been picked up because he was an immigrant from Russian at that area. He would have technically been, in modern terms, like Mexico. He just would have been here illegally and been deported. Don't change my words, man. Just listen for a moment, okay? Don't change my words. And you would have had one of the greatest scientists who did die here, okay, in the U.S. But I'm obsessed with Nikola Tesla. Obsessed with him, to be
Lots
honest.
of scientists died in America, including the Nazis that we had over
Right.
after
And that's
World War
and
II.
that's my point. And that's my point. So I'm not talking about paperclip though, but let's not go there. But I'm saying sometimes you're blessed when you're blessed. And so you can't we were America, we're an experiment of 300 years or lesser, and we're trying to make it better. And to Storm's point, I want to address that next, but we're trying to make it better because this is the only country in the modern world last 1,000 years, and I spent a lot of time around the world, especially in Asia, the last 1,000 years that have been close to what equilibrium should be for humanity.
That is that
Humanity.
American exceptionalism bullshit.
No,
Sometimes,
not
yeah,
American. You didn't
sometimes you
hear me.
just gotta pick up a
You,
nugget. Like
Kalisa, you didn't
sometimes
hear me. You didn't hear me. I said 1,000 years. You didn't hear me. You did not hear me.
Yeah,
I said a
I said what I
thousand years.
said. I
I'm
heard
not
you.
talking about capitalism. You didn't hear me. I'm not talking about production. I don't care about anything being produced. I'm talking about humanity, where you can go and be free, literally, or born here. And I can trace my roots back 6 generations to when my forefathers came here and were brought here, I should say. Okay, so I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about humanity, global. There's no other continent. But we have not kept up to that bargain. Just like the reserve currency, we took the gold and kept it. We weren't supposed to do that. This is America in the 50s, way before anyone was born. We were not supposed to keep that gold. We took it after World War II because we were the trusted country for the world. This is a fact, not speculation, not woo woo, a fact. We still have it. That's why we're the reserve world currency, or as TC says, trade currency. Fact. These countries don't like that. I've lived abroad too long. They don't like it because we shouldn't be that way. We were supposed to give it back in the 60s, JFK, but I won't go there. But
And why haven't we?
that's the point.
Do you even
Exactly.
think it's there?
Storm, you're a great point. I don't know, but you're right. Why haven't we? Storm, that's a great point. Why haven't we given it? Because we were not supposed. I know the agreements. Been there, done. Know it too well. Why haven't we just did that? You want to talk about change the world order? Just do that one thing and say, look, we're no longer the reserve currency anymore because the Bank for International Settlements in Basel, Switzerland, and Skoll knows about this, but I'm talking over the heads, but you guys can Google this, BIS in Basel, Switzerland, okay? They are the central bank for all the world's central banks. And they're saying Why is the U.S. the reserve currency? We can export inflation. That's why we can print dollars. That's why the U.S. is 32 trillion in debt, and we can still buy shit cheap. Facts, people.
So
But
I
I'm
don't
good.
I don't understand what's going on. So first of all, there's a reason why the US dollar is the world's reserve currency. And actually that
Why?
domination has been
You tell me
decreasing.
why.
Okay. That domination has actually been decreasing for the last several decades if you would care to look at current data, right?
Wait,
So
Nikki, tell them why. Why is the US the currency? What did we do to destabilize the rest of the world and facilitate this after World War II to ensure that the dollar was the strongest currency?
I mean, we've done a lot of icky stuff, but it's 12:40 and I'm about to go eat a bagel. So here's the shortened version.
I'm dead.
You know, we've been given a lot of labor tonight, sis. We need to rest. Strong Black women, sometimes we need to rest, right? So, oh my God, I'm so funny. So, for the current part, right? I'm just even going to take it to the current Trump administration. The reason that everyone uses the US dollar is also because we spread love to the entire world. This is not formal economics, Skull, so I can see your face kind of frowning a little bit or imagine it. But I'm saying is like the US has been a pimp, right? We've been a pimp. And what does a pimp do? They have to spread money to the entire community because they're doing some icky, effed up stuff, right? So what do? They give out turkeys during Thanksgiving, right? They might, make sure that there's a small nonprofit that they donate money to that helps the kids. The US gotta love the kids, right? So it's not just one-sided that we have this great economic parity that's going on with the rest of the world. But what we have right now in office is we have someone that's basically threatening the sanctity of that dominance of the dollar. Because do you know what Donald J. Trump is accomplishing that no other United States president has accomplished? He is making all of these other countries be pro their own country and nationalist. So guess what? What Canada started is not just going to go away lightly. We are pissing people off so much to the fact that they're not even vacationing in the United States like they used to. Bye bye Disney World. By the way, we saw something similar happen after 9/11 when goofy ass Americans couldn't tell the difference between somebody who was Muslim and somebody who wasn't. And a lot of wealthy Saudis and other people around the world basically stopped coming here because we were harassing immigrants. So the same thing can also happen, right? You just have to look to history for examples. The United States is subsidized at $1, which is why your money markets, when you invest at Fidelity or Schwab, are basically kept at $1, right? Fun fact, during COVID, we actually used to have meetings in the office because we thought that the market was going to drop so severely or things were going to happen to where we would not be able to, when I say we, not me, but the powers that be were not going to be able to keep that, the dollar would not have been kept at $1, right? So there was actually some concern because you have a lot of older wealthy people that are not invested in the market. They literally just sit in money markets for whatever reason. So but kudos to the United States and all those powers that be that basically when you log in to your Bank of America account, your high yield savings account or your high yield checking, you have just as much money as you had in there the day before because that is intentionally kept by investing in short-term paper at $1, right? Which is also makes it wonderful and easier for other countries. But guess what? We're starting to piss people off, which is why we see other countries offloading their treasuries, which is not really a good thing for us because we need additional dollars to pump into that so that we can continue to pay our bills, right? Not when I say our bills, I mean pay out those income payments that we have because a lot of countries feel that it's safer to invest their reserve dollars in the United States treasuries. Number one, because we're good for it. Because we are the biggest economy, because we have the largest GDP, because we have the largest stock market by far. Do you guys not know that Apple and Google and Microsoft, right, just by themselves, their own valuations are bigger than some entire country's valuation of their entire stock market? So we are pro capitalism, and this is actually where Kalisha and I sometimes have these deep dives into this conversation. I'm a baby pro capitalist, being pretty much somewhat still a conservative, right? So I think that these things need to be in place, but trust and believe when you start cutting off the free turkeys at Thanksgiving, When you start cutting off paying for the orphanages overseas in Mumbai and in whatever small town in Africa, you're going to have a problem because we're going to force these other countries to get along without us. So while you are all caping, oh, the United States is saving $5, that $5 cast into the world probably brought us $500 back. But that's going to go away now because you put Donald Trump in office. So does this make sense? Did I answer the question?
I have a question, Mickey.
Well,
And
Mickey,
by the
hold
way, I
on.
should be
Excuse
asleep.
me.
Don't tell
She
me
was
hold on because you'll be
Yvonne,
sleeping. You've been talking all freaking night.
but she was addressing me, Yvonne. Please,
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go
I'll
ahead. I
yield to
go to
you.
my bed.
I'll land and I'll yield to you because I just wanted to stay on topic. Okay. So, Mickey, thank you, and I respect you, and it's you as well, Yvonne. But and maybe this is not the time for this conversation, and I can hold it.
I agree.
And we, well, of course, John. Okay. All
I
right. With that, I'm done. I mean, I'm done. John, I'm done.
just keep it short.
I only have one question before I go to my bed because honestly, I've been here all day from 9 o'clock this morning. So my question to Nikki is: do you think it's going to be easy for US to regain the trust that it had in the world? Because right now, tell the truth, guys, she's not beating up on America, but she's just bringing some truth. The trust is gone. You know, when I hear Prime Minister Carney says that, you know, they had a good conversation, right? They had a respectful conversation. But the conclusion is that, you know, that the trust is really gone. Like it's almost like each man for himself now, but it forces other countries to align with other nations. Because as we know, Canada is is a smaller country, so they just can't leave ourselves out there naked. We have to align with the French, we have to align with the British, we have to align with the EU, we have to align with Australia. And a lot of things because is going on right now in Canada because you guys think you're gonna squeeze. And I see some. It's like some stupid idiots in this room all the time is saying Canada is small. We're gonna crush them. Those are the sentiments that I get into this room. But you guys don't realize what is going on in the back. You think I know we'll feel some pain, right, in the beginning, but in the long term, it's better for Canada because we'll be more diversified. And I'm telling you, 150%. If I'm buying anything, I would not even give a dollar to anything if I can, if I don't have to. That says US on it right now. I'm so pissed with the whole thing that I'm not coming back over there. Sorry, I find other places to go, like every other Canadian who's looking to go to vacation in other places. Next year, I'm going to Europe. Yes, go visit the French. I've never been to France before. I need to go find those people, look for more friends. But it's crazy if you think that it's just the tariffs. What about your tourism and things of that nature? That is always also important. Right down in Maine, there is a area in Maine where most of the Canadians used to go, and I saw the gentleman on TV saying that most of the people who are coming to Maine were Canadians, and they are down. They have to close down their business. So you guys, when you come into this room and you laugh around about Canada becoming 51, you're actually laughing at yourself. It disgusts me to see people who I'm friends with come into this room and joke around the Canada being 51. It is not a joke, guys. It is serious because you're talking about other people's economies. You're laughing at them because you want it to crash. That's what's going to happen. It's not so easy. And I'm going to land my plane right there.
Well, I don't
Yvonne,
feel that way. I feel
Yvonne,
like you. I
Yvonne, one
feel like
second, one second, Yvonne. I understand what you're saying. Canada would never become a what's called of the United States. Okay, and that's rhetoric. And I hopefully I think that I hope that most of the people that say that understand that, including Grant. Canada has been long established, long before the U.S. it was established. So Canada, Canada will never become a part of the U.S. Anytime soon, I should say. And I don't think Canada has anything to worry about. Canada will never let that happen, and it certainly won't happen in our lifetime. So I mean, so I think you know that. I think all the Canadians know that, as well as Greenland. They know that. If Trump was to go there and do something like that, I would think that our military would defy those orders to attack Greenland. Um, I would hope that our military would defy those orders. So, but Canada certainly would not be a part of the United States. I understand that, and I know that. I just wanted to put that out there. Alan.
And I just want to answer
I
Auntie
was
Yvonne's
I was trying
question.
I was trying to talk and I got cut
Oh,
off.
one second, Pamela. I just want to answer her original question where she said, Miki, do I think, this is just me, in my opinion, that we're ever going to regain that trust? Honestly, I don't think so. Because what we saw during Trump's first administration, when a lot of these things were already happening, but they were happening in pockets, right? Is that I believe that even J6, when you had some politicians in Russia basically say democracy has fallen because the United States, even though everyone knew we were a bully that was good for it, right? We would bully you, but we would reach out a hand and do business with you, right? Our corporations would come, Americans would come. We spend a lot of dollars around the globe. So maybe we've had this icky reputation, but we've also had this great shining reputation that anyone can come here. You can make money, the American exceptionalism dream, right? Americans aren't as sold on it, but you can't say that we're not the number one place for immigrants to come and basically to change their entire lives. Because yes, a lot of countries, not all of them, because there are other democracies, a lot of countries do not allow for people to basically come here and make life-changing financial and economic um, uh, reaches, I guess, is what I want to say. So, but to me, just from listening around the globe, just from reading certain things, because actually, when something major happens in the United States, I actually like to go and look at how other newspapers are reporting it. And we're such a joke. We're such a joke right now. I think no one thought that American exceptionalism could be dismantled from within. So if you're a business person, it's kind of like fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, or fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. The way that Trump is dismantling, like you said, with Canada, these relationships that we've had in place for decades, these treasured, precious relationships that we didn't even have to think about, right? Canada and the U.S., like when we were looking up the car stats, it even included like the percentage because we're so close allies. Mexico, that's like our brothers and our sisters, but it's been dismantled and it's been attacked and it's been belittled and it's been taken for granted. And this is the second time. And I really don't think that the rest of the world is going to be as forgiving as Americans are, because why should they? All we have to do is elect another person, such as Donald Trump, and then it's all going to go to hell again. So honestly, I think that this is going to force these countries, which every American thinks is such a great idea. But what they don't understand is that we are well integrated into the economies of these countries because we are huge consumers. Do we consume too much? Absolutely. It's 70% of our GDP, but that is not going to change overnight. Absolutely not. So while we want to build and manufacture, right, are we going to be able to sustain ourselves in the interim? Right? I don't think so. I'm just not that optimistic in that regard because we haven't done it for decades. I really don't think it's going to happen just because we have someone at the helm saying, "Oh, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do." Right? Americans do not change on a dime, right? It took Donald Trump getting elected, waiting out 4 years, going to Biden during COVID, which Americans are indoctrinated to flock to safety when they think things are bad, right? Because they didn't put him back in. They went to Biden. They went to somebody safe, an old white man to run the country. And now they're getting a little happy because they think we're quote unquote giving it to the other countries. Well, they're going to wake up and FO real quick because no, I don't think these countries are going to forgive us. And honestly, I don't blame them. Go ahead,
Well,
Pamela.
oh,
I mean, y'all kind of messed me up. Y'all talk so long. I don't even know what I was gonna say.
Hold on, I have a response to that, Miki. I think that.
I just please let me
Oh,
get my
sorry.
thoughts out because this is crazy. I feel like that we do have a chance to recoup ourselves if we get rid of Trump. We still have hope. I don't like talking on the negative, like we can't do this, we can't do that. I understand that we've really gone the wrong way right now, but I don't want to give up. I like Levon. I want them to know that all of us didn't vote for this man and for these circumstances. So I'm hoping and praying that they understand that it's not all of us, and that we can come back from this. because if not, we are this country is going to be devastated. Like we are not, we're more consumer than we are productive. We are, we've gotten to this state where we have people are being bullies now. They think it's great to lose our allies. I don't think that's smart, and I don't think everybody thinks that. I think that as some of these become these maggots come around because they're getting hurt as well, it's not happening fast enough that they'll come around too and want to get rid of this administration we have right now, and we will be in a better place. But we were losing anyway as far as the dollar. The dollar was going down regardless before this happened. It's just going down faster now, and I feel like that the brick nation was coming together before all of this. Before Donald Trump got in there and started trying to be a bully, it was already coming together, and we should be able to come together with them as well when it's done. We're not going to be number one anymore. That's just something Americans got to accept. We're not going to be number one, but we can still get along. We're still a superpower, and we still could, work together if we realize that we all need everybody needs friends, and we have the history of helping, and with the right people in place, and the majority of people thinking the same way, we can rebuild that part. That's my thought on that. I guess I've said what I want to say.
Thank you, Pamela. Well said, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I do want to say this, right? We are the number one consumers on this planet. And so I don't think that they're going to stop selling us their goods. They need us to keep buying their things. So I don't think that that's going to stop from the business aspect of things. In regards to the currency, these guys came in and said they wanted to make America the number one cryptocurrency in the world. Again, this goes back to this whole technocratic, this whole thing that they're trying to put together. Even these businesses that are coming in here, sure, they might start off with some labor, but eventually, guess who owns a company that sells robots? Tesla, right? So what do you think is going to happen? Everything's going to be automated. It's all going to be AI. Even if these businesses come in here, it's not going to be you. They of course they're not going to get rid of all the humans, obviously, but they're going to need people who know how to operate these this new technology, to get these factories to keep running. So it's going to become a whole new type of economy if with this whole thing that they're trying to push. And again, they've been wanting to get rid of the dollar. Like they've been talking about, we want to become the number one crypto economy in the world, and they're pushing that. They're competing against the UAE. They're competing against China. Like there's a whole push. A lot of these nations are also pushing for it. That was the whole point of BRICS as well. So this thing is in regards to the dollar, like everything is going digital. I don't know. I can't say I know exactly what it's gonna look like, but I like you can already see that they're trying to get rid of the Fed. They're trying to bring in this cryptocurrency. They're gonna bring in these businesses. It's gonna start off great because people are gonna get jobs, but eventually they're gonna get rid of the people, like just like how they're doing with the government, and then they're gonna bring in the robots and the AI, and they're gonna have those things working and mass producing whatever goods are coming into the country. But at the end of the day, I think the rest of the world still needs us because we consume. They need to sell us their stuff, even if they hate us. They're still going to sell us their things. They need us to purchase it. Otherwise, it's going to create problems for their own economy as well. So that's just my take on it in regards to that. And the situation with Canada is terrible. They need to resolve that. I don't know what's going to happen. What's gonna like. I don't think it's smart for the U.S. to try to go and invade Canada, and I don't even know why we're. Actually, I know why we're talking about Greenland, but that's a whole other that's a whole other topic. But yeah, it's just a lot of this is unnecessary. But they need us. They need us, and they're not gonna stop doing business with us just because they don't like Trump.
But
And
Christopher,
Christopher,
oh,
let me just quickly,
go,
Christopher, it's not doing business with you because you don't like Trump. If you put tariffs, which is a taxes on the goods, and it becomes too expensive, then the people in the United States are not going to buy it. That is just simple business, right? It's too high, people can afford it, they're going to look elsewhere. But in the meantime, There are also US is not the world, my friend. There are also other countries in the world. There was a time when we used to we used to supply more goods to Europe. That has been reduced over the years. And maybe because of proximity and things of that nature, we are supplying more goods to the United States. But that can change. That will change over time. It's not going to change tomorrow. But right now, we are also forging relationships with other nations and have already got, got arrangements with other countries to supply them with goods. So the fact that US is just a part, it's not the whole world. Yeah, I know the people in the United States love to spend money, but there's a whole other world out there, my friend. I don't know how many of you travel a lot, but a lot of times I feel that the people in the United States think that the world is the United States, especially when we come into these rooms. Don't forget that there's a whole other world out there. We can diversify. It doesn't mean that we're not going to sell to you, but we will sell less to you. And I'm practically, I'm happy for that because you cannot
Yeah, that's good for you
depend
guys'
on
economy.
one. Just 1 minute, I'm going to land. You can't depend on one big customer buying 70% of your goods. Right now, within Canada, we are changing up things. You know, it is not easy to if inter country trade. There are barriers. We're removing those. So some of our provinces that used to buy things from you guys because maybe it's easier, it's gonna be made. It was easier for them in the past. We are making it easier to have inter province trade and all that stuff. So we're doing a lot over here to fix what was not right. And thanks to Donald Trump, because I think he did a good thing. He opened our eyes because it's not everything that is bad. We got to see things as a paradigm shift that needs to be done, and things probably needed to change. And God is slapping on our shoulder and say, Canada, you can't be like this. You have to do something about those things. And also, we're spending lots more money now on our security. Right now, we are developing security. I can't remember what the name is. It was just announced with Australia. They're going to help to build some sort of security thing across the north because it's vulnerable over there. Or else Russia might decide that they want to come and take us too. Soon and very soon, you're going to have Russia and the United States fighting for our border up in the north because it is Russia thinks they should have a part of it. US thinks they should have a part of it. So we are weak, my dear. We are weak. Are we woke? Yes, we are weak. If woke means to be awakened, we are awake right now. We're doing something about it.
Yeah, and I just want to say I've lived outside the U.S. First part of my life before I came into this country, and so I do have experience traveling. But at the end of the day, you guys are still going to sell us our like goods into the country, and also other nations put tariffs on imported goods. Every like the U.S. Doesn't really hasn't been putting tariffs on it, and the rest of the world is mad that now America is putting tariffs on it, which I guess I understand. I get it. You got what I mean? Like if I had a client and all of a sudden they start charging me for stuff, I would probably start getting pissed. But regardless, like at the end of the day, you're still going to pay tariffs to send stuff to Europe because they put tariffs on goods. They put tariffs on products coming outside of their countries. So, all it is the consumerism is still going to happen. America is still the number one consumer economy on the planet. You're still going to send us your maple syrup. It's not going to be $13 anymore. It might be $22 or $33. And some people might decide they want to buy a different maple syrup from another country or from out here. But you're still going to be sending us your goods. It's the same thing. Like that's it's not going to stop, is what I'm saying. So yes, I think it's great. Now the rest of the world is like, hold up, we got to like start selling to other people too, like you just mentioned. So I think that's fantastic. You know what I mean? But it's not gonna stop, is what I'm saying. Like the
Christopher, remember
consumerism is
there's
still gonna happen.
remember there's countries that have billions of people in one country. Like you guys are not that large.
What are you talking about?
India, China, there's places that have a lot of people that need things. And Canada
Yeah,
has a lot of resources that people want clean water. People want natural food, grade A meat, real meat. There's a lot of people that would also buy. I'm not saying we're not going to do business with you all, but I'm just saying there's a lot of people, a lot of places that are overpopulated 10 times, 100 times than the US that need things, need goods. So I'm just saying, they keep saying you're the largest consumer. And what we're trying to say is no. There's a whole world out there that literally has billions of people, even in one city. Like, the world is huge.
I get that, and the U.S. is still doing business with these other countries as well. Like, but that
No,
doesn't
you guys are
stop.
getting banned. A lot of people are banning you all. We even have
okay.
travel advisories that to not go to the US. I think there's 38 countries right now that have put travel warnings for people not to even go to your country. You don't know how, that's why you have to get away sometimes. And like Mika was saying that you got to read other papers. There's a lot of people who are banning your products. We're taking our time. Tesla is being
They
banned all
they they
over.
they've been banning
We're boycotting. We're
They
boycotting. The world is not happy. I don't know what you think is
Yeah,
out there, but we're not.
they've been doing that, but again, like America consumes. Like if we can't send our goods out there, right? Then what's gonna happen is we're gonna have to basically utilize our own resources here and make goods and services out here for ourselves. And on top of that, the things that we can't get from here, we're gonna have to import it from other countries. So we're still going to consume from other nations, and whether that's India, Brazil, China, like it's not gonna stop. Like it's just they're just putting a tax on it. That's all they're doing because
But
before
Christopher,
they
Yeah,
weren't putting taxes on it.
Christopher, you just
hold,
really like
hold,
repeat yourself.
no, no, no. I want to say something, Christopher. I'm saying I disagree with the premise, and I've been saying something quickly. We were talking about it earlier with the technocracy. I think it's shifting. I know you're young, and I appreciate that. Well, from your profile, I don't know if you're young, but I've said this before. I think the world, regardless of Trump, we can stay on Trump or this administration, whatever, but this has been coming for a minute. And earlier in the room, we were talking about technocracy and we were talking about macro shifts, not micro. Okay. The world is leading, and specifically financial crisis from financial standpoints and from COVID, but mainly COVID. The world is shifting from a the world, not the US, from a consumer economy to a knowledge based economy. What do I mean by that? You won't order shit unless you don't know what you're getting. And remember in the past, well, I'm old school, right? So you would order 3 TVs, 5 TVs, they wouldn't work, send them back. I'm older than 42, just so you know. And you would just keep it. This was consumption, right? Today, if you order anything, Costco, wherever you buy it, you can take it back just in time inventory. You're like, I'm not going to take it because that wasn't what I wanted. So
Alaska,
that
why are these
means,
long stories, bro?
well, boss, who was that talking?
That was Jonathan Bing, Mr. Bizzle Bing.
Okay.
That's that prodigal 1333.
Was that Bing? That didn't sound like Bing.
Yeah, that's Jonathan.
Okay, Jonathan, man, I'm okay. You know I'm long winded. What? Okay,
He wants you to give us the Cole's notes.
trying to my best. Yeah, okay, so Christopher had covered a lot of points. I can't make it. Okay, so Christopher, let me break it down as fast as I can. So the bottom line is that the world won't consume the way you're thinking consumption. Technology will play a game. This will change the world. But the point is, where's America in that world? Okay, and then how do we trade? And it will be technology and robotics and everything else with financial and consumption and the money changing game because America is not king forever. Hasn't been. So let's pretend there's a world where money changes, like crypto or whatever. Like the money isn't valued the way you thought it was. Then where's America in that world? That was
But
my question.
But you know that we are talking about making crypto number one by a
Wait,
man who
wait,
don't
hold on, Pamela. Let Christopher answer.
by a man who doesn't know about crypto.
Let her
Christopher,
speak.
let me finish
Christopher
because you
spoke
talk
a
a
lot.
lot
Wait,
Go
over
wait,
ahead,
there.
wait,
Pam.
wait, wait, wait. Slow down.
Why I
Let
gotta
Chris.
wait? I'm talking. You just let
And
me listen
let
for a
Pam
minute.
speak because
LS,
Christopher
LS,
spoke.
LS, LS. You stopped and she started talking. Don't do that, bro. Yo, that's
Go
crazy.
ahead, Pam.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
go ahead, Pam.
So I was saying that crypto is something they're saying they're gonna make number one, but he don't really know about crypto. His son likes crypto, and crypto's been growing all over the world, helping third world countries have income. So he's not gonna make it number one until they've been investing in this for a minute. However, Christopher, you got to stop. I mean, and I hope you all, Yvonne and the other young lady, I'm sorry I can't say the name, that you all don't think that Christopher speaks for most of us because he thinks that it's going to be like it is. We all can consume. Everybody don't have the money to consume. We are a consuming country more so than a productive country now, but we all don't have that kind of income. And Yvonne, you was speaking earlier. I was saying we need to figure out. I asked you for myself even, what should be the area I should be trying to look into to change my career? Because I understand that we all need each other. And there are many. I don't think that I'm the only one. So we have people like Christopher who's young, who believe, who eating the soup or drinking the water of Trump or whatever he's doing, and some older ones.
Hey,
But
I just want
the
to be
po-
clear. I
but the
don't
point.
trust any of these people,
Okay,
first and
but you
foremost.
made a comment about that they're gonna America, they're gonna still buy from us. We're gonna still be buying. We can't buy.
We're
You
still gonna
you
import
you brought
goods.
you brought up yourself a fact
Go
about
ahead, Pam.
robots. You brought up robots,
Yeah,
AI,
yeah,
and you
huh?
said they were gonna take
Let
over,
her finish, please.
but you couldn't explain what was gonna happen to the people. Everybody's not gonna be able to do the technology that you're
I
talking
said it. I
about.
said if you want
Wait,
to
wait,
get
wait,
ahead
wait,
in the
wait. Please
world,
let
you're
me
gonna have
finish.
to
Please
study
let
on
me
how
finish.
to.
Please,
Go
you
ahead, go
finished
ahead.
your sentence. I didn't finish.
Yeah, one mic on her, Christopher. One mic on. Go ahead, Pamela.
You brought all those things up, and we don't know what that means for us. And I heard Elon say, "Oh well, we're gonna have robots. We're gonna do this and that, and everybody gonna be. We're gonna be we're gonna have universal income. But it's not gonna be a bad thing because everybody's gonna have a lot of money to get what they need. It's just that what are you gonna do with yourself? You're not gonna have nothing to do. I don't believe that's what's gonna happen. Like it's a possibility, but it doesn't make sense that they will let us just have money and not know what we're gonna do with our lives. That's a lot. So we have a lot to figure out. And many people do have to make adjustments to try to survive in this future. But there are gonna be a lot of people left behind regardless. Because that's the way this sounds like it's going. And I don't know about you, but I have friends in my life that have value to make my life valuable. I don't know how a country can go without friends, and we're cutting off our allies. So that's not a good thing, Christopher, or whoever believes that. We can't just be. We're not that great a country that we can go without friends, or we can go without allies. And though we've been helping many people, we're not trying to do it. We're not doing just tariffs. Like you said, we never did tariffs. Yeah, we have done tariffs. That's crazy to say that. He's doing a bully tariff, and he's making it so that it's going to be difficult for the American people to survive here with those high costs. So I need you to really like tone that down, man. I want everybody to know we need to get along. People need to get along. Countries need to get along. And that's I don't like the attitude that you
Yeah.
I
have
want to
that we just
correct
greater.
something that I want to correct something that he said because he was saying that we were the other countries weren't were US wasn't charged, like we were trading for free.
Mm-hmm.
Just to correct just quickly because most people know this, he can go and read it up. There was a NAFTA, then there was a USMCA. That is an agreement where America and Mexico and Canada had an agreement that certain amount of goods would be traded free between countries, and over that amount, there when you go over that quota, each country would pay would it would be increased like 100 to 200% and all that. It's all over the news. Don't listen to what Mr. Trump says. The correct information is out there. Go and find it. There, both countries tax each other all the time, but there was a basket of goods where there was called free trade. That is what Mr. Trump is putting taxes on because the agreement is supposed to be up next year, not yet, and that is what Prime Minister Carney, I think they had a conversation today. I think they're going to renegotiate the USMCA But to come in here and say that we were trading for free and we were not paying taxes, that is not true. So I think you should go back and Google and whatever you need to do. There's much information out there to say all the stuff you've been seeing on TikTok where people are saying that we're charging 200% on milk and all that. It is not true. And as of and to date, neither of the countries have gone over the quota. That means we didn't charge you US 100% on anything, and they did not charge us 100% on any of those goods because neither countries have gone over the quota. But that is what the Americans are using, right? So I'm just going to want to land it there. So I think you should go and read more. I don't think you are. I don't think I
No, no,
don't
no, no, no,
think
no,
you
no, no,
have
no,
the
no, 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 no.
information. No, no, you
Hey,
didn't
can
hear
I just
something.
respond
No,
because
no, no. One second, guys. Hold on. First of all, first and foremost, I want to say, hey, guys. Uh, Thank you, first of all, for being here. Debate the news. If you guys haven't, hey, click the link up top. Okay. Follow the podcast. Click it on automatic downloads. Okay, and leave a review. If you're listening at home, you know, guess what? Download the Chatter Social app, and come on over to Chatter Social. It's Chatter Social. You can get this app either in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. Once again, Chatter Social, App Store, or the Google Play Store. Guys, make sure you download the app. Make sure you guys follow the app, okay? And just download a few episodes. But I want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys because you guys made this thing a really great show. We're going to get back. So I wanted to do that. So I want to give you guys a chance and opportunity to do that. Once again, Jonathan being here, Daphne Christine, Mickey, and we had Skull here today. We had who else? Daphne here today. Grant, Cindy, you got Auntie Yvonne here on the ones and twos. Vershawn that was speaking as well. Was that Makita that was speaking somewhat today as well. We have just a whole bunch of people that just been sharing today. So I just want to acknowledge you guys for your contributions to the conversation. We're going to continue the conversation, but I wanted to do that for the people out there listening to us in podcast land and the people that was on the other platform, letting know that that's about to go down right now. So with that being said, you guys can get back to the conversation.